Welcome back, everybody. Nate Williamson here with you with Dennis Michelsen for the Danville Dashers Broadcast Network. We're back here for night 2 of the homestand, the second homestand of the season for the Danville Dashers in the third week of play here in the Federal Prospect Hockey League. They're going to be facing off against the Watertown Wolves. A great, tight-knit, close game last night between these two teams, Dennis, and we're seeing a lot of changes, actually, on the starting lineup for one team in particular. A few changes in terms of personnel for the Watertown Wolves, but a lot for Ray Tremblay's Danville Dashers. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to Coach before the game, as always, and you know, it's so funny because your perception as a fan or a media member versus a coach down on the ice and knowing what you expect from your guys is always a little bit different. I thought last night that the Wolves the Danville Dashers played a fairly good game against the Wolves, with the exception of that second period where they got a little sloppy with how they handled the puck. Coach, on the other hand, was not pleased at all. He said his team got outplayed from start to finish last night, and they did not execute their defense at all. And we saw it because, again, that dynamic duo of Derek Boudreau and Tyler Gurich, they were responsible for all 3 goals.
Yeah, indeed, and you got to wonder, actually, if that same line of thinking is true from Ray Tremblay about Jesse Gordichuk, who we're not going to see in the goal tonight.
No, very complimentary about the effort he got from Gordy last night. In fact, he said he expected that the score should have been more lopsided last night. Gordichuk saved him. But Gordichuk took 2 big hits during the game. He took that point-blank shot to the mask, and he also took that big pile-up in front of the net. Now, I kind of thought that was a pretty dirty play on Watertown. I was a little surprised we didn't get an extra penalty out of that one. But that is part of the reason. Plus, Harley White's been very, very strong in goal, and he just wants to make sure he gets some time to stay in there. It is not a demotion for Gordichuk by any stretch of the imagination. He was very happy with how his goaltender played last night.
Yeah, that's understandable. Every time you see a deep running team in the playoffs, whether it's the NHL or the FPHL, they've got 2 capable goaltenders, at least one very good goaltender, and then one behind him. In the case of the Danville Dashers here, I think this is 2 very talented goaltenders. As the lights go down here at the David S. Palmer Arena, you know that means the starting lineups are about to come out. We'll get to that really quick here. Starting for Watertown tonight, Vladimir Pord at left defense, Liam Little at the center position. Right wing is Jamie Lucas. Right defense is Kyle Powell. In goal is going to be Blake Scott instead of Jeremy Pominville. And Dallas Desjardins rounds out the starting line at left wing for head coach Paul McLean. Now, as for the Dashers for tonight, starting at left D is going to be Brad Denny. Right defense is Brad Denny. In goal is Harley White, getting his first start here at the homestand. Johan Hoagland, the point shooting defenseman at number 44, is going to be playing left defense. At center, AJ Tesserero, and at right wing, Artem Efimov Barakov, and opposite him at the left wing, Jesse Nahair. So a completely new lineup here for Coach Ray Tremblay, sending a bit of a message to his team.
Yeah, I definitely think this is a message-setting deal by the coach. Got a lot of good effort out of that second line, and they're getting rewarded with the start tonight.
Yeah, and understandably so, as AJ Tesserero, the center, playing for tonight. He'll get the start, mustache and all. Was one of the goal scorers last night. Artem Efimov Barakov had another influential performance last night, and the young Dashers are going to look to rebound from a tight loss last night against the Wolves here tonight, who also played an absolutely admirable game and effort.
Very solid game last night. In fact, I thought it was a great hockey game with just a bad outcome for the home team.
Absolutely, a great atmosphere as well. As you see the skaters make their way to the ice, the Danville Township's youth player spotlight is Dane Dillon from the Junior Dashers. The Dashers get involved again with the youth programs. Always great to see, especially for the future of the sport.
And again, those the folks from Monocle's Pizza giving a donation to the Junior Dashers Monday. If you go and order a pizza. And I know Stacy and I'll be there getting our monocles fixed for the week.
That's understandable. Monocles just followed me on Twitter today, so shout out to Monocles for that. We're going to get ready for the national anthem here. Kurt Kaiser.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rent the air, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Mr. Kurt Kaiser with our national anthem this evening.
Kurt Kaiser with the national anthem always does a great job. Kurt, also just an awesome human being. Take it from me personally. We got some more awesome human beings coming up here. We're going to have a ceremonial puck drop from the local township. It's Danville Township getting the ceremonial puck drop tonight. A big sponsor of us here at the Dashers. We do love everyone over at Danville Township, and thank you for your sponsorship.
Kurt does such a wonderful job on the anthem, and he is undefeated this year.
Yeah, true. Kurt actually not getting replaced a little bit last night for a local high school band. I do believe that was Covington and Fountain Central, if my memory serves correctly. Nonetheless, not a big deal at all. Going to make sure those levels are loud enough. It's going to be a very loud night tonight from this crowd, it seems like, out here on a Saturday night in downtown Danville. There's a lot going on tonight, so it means a lot that they would come out here for this. Looks like the crowd's starting to file in. A lot of people hang out in that front room and then make their way into their seats. By the time you start the game, you almost are looking around like, wait a second, where did you all come from?
They got good food around here, Nate. Everybody's got to get their last fill of the vittles before the puck drops.
I keep trying to tell myself that I don't need to go and get a pretzel every intermission, but it's just not working.
Oh, the pretzels look so good.
I'm a huge fan of soft pretzels and a huge fan of hockey. And here we go, Patrick Zylak, AJ Tesserero in the center circle for Danville. Got into a rhythm. Jesse Naher going to grab this one. Send it around the board to Artem Efimov Barakov. Tries to find a pass there. Has ended up losing it between his legs a little bit momentarily. He's going to get checked up as he's going to eventually, the puck's going to find its way out to Brad Denny, who's going to shoot on. It's 44 versus 4. Hoagland with a beautiful snipe celly from the left defense point spot. And just within 22 seconds of the game, the Dashers have taken the lead.
Well, they certainly came out with a vengeance to get some revenge on last night's loss. And that second line showing the hustle that Coach wanted to see out of them and quickly getting the advantage tonight in front of a very enthusiastic home crowd.
That was a beautiful shot at the corner there from Johan Hoagland. He's got 2 goals from the point just in the last 2 weekends here at the Palmer Arena. That one's going to come around the boards, and collecting is Alex Palmerville, who isn't starting tonight. Coming around for that is Watertown, going to collect. Fred Hines going to take it out, also not getting the start tonight. And Marvin Powell collects here on the back end. He's going to find a nice pass there to number 9, Lane King. King tries to fire across there to Tyler Urich, and that's going to be actually Derek Boudreau taking a shot on goal there. That's stopped by White. Nick Gullo going to come in, drops it off here And that's going to be Tanner Hildebrandt bringing it around. You will not miss that frame. Seth Ensor fires a shot on it, finds the boot of a Watertown Wolf. Going to be redirected here. Seth Ensor is going to end up with it in the end and dump it down. It comes off the stick of Marvin Powell and thus right into the visitors' score sheet.
Good solid hustle from the Danville Dashers to start this game.
Absolutely. Coming up now to the center circle, going to be number 5, Preston Kugler, actually taking it here for Watertown against Patrick Zylak. And Zilli fires that one out, almost gets out, and a shot on goal results from Marco Luciani. As a quick start here for the Danville Dashers, they're putting some pressure on the offensive zone.
Bit of a knuckleball shot, kind of was bobbing and weaving, but Blake Scott making the stop.
And after you let in a goal on the first shot of the game, it's good to get that one under your glove, and Blake Scott going to be happy he got that one in his glove, as it did come in with a weird bounce, and we've seen some of those end up in goals. A huge hit delivered by Seth Ensor as he makes that pass go stray there for Watertown. Ensor is going to end up with it, dumps off to Zylak. Zylak tries to bring it into the zone, but a stick touch is too heavy. Zylak fighting for this one now, finds an open space here in the corner. He's going to bring it out to Luciani, who shoots, and it's redirected off the pad of Blake Scott. Luciani with another solid scoring opportunity there, and big hit from Seth Murray.
The one part of the game last night that Danville dominated were those 50-50 pucks along the board, and starting out tonight winning those tough scraps along the board already.
Troy Murray and Patrick Zylak making a big impact there already to start the game. Hoagland goes, why not shoot for 2? When he shoots again right off the point. Blake Scott's up to this one, though, as it's kind of just a roller in on the pad. It does get redirected off the stick and out of play, though. Coming up to take this center face off, it's A.J. Tesserero along with Cameron Dimmitt. Dimmitt got the better of his matchup with Fred Hine many a time last night. Dimmitt almost wins this one. It comes off the skate of the referee. As bringing it in now is Watertown. It's going to be Dimmitt coming down and collecting it is Michael Desjardins. Desjardins throws it down. It's going to get as far as Johan Hoagland. Hoagland looking for the outlet pass and almost finds it. It's caught on the stick, though, of a Watertown player. Coming back now, Preston Kugler throws it across ice. It's intercepted there by Danville. It's going to be Brad Denny on the attack. Jesse Naher forces a loose puck. Tesserero doesn't take that one with him. It gets as far as Johan Hoagland, though, before the Dashers are able to recover.
Good job by the Dashers defense there. They didn't have the edge, and they were quick to drop back a little bit. We didn't see that last night. They gave up some opposite end rushes.
And Joseph Devaney almost has a nice attack there, and it does. It finds the stick of number 10, Michael Desjardins, who buries it home past Harley White.
Got a little sloppy on the defense there.
And so often, Dennis, you see tight games in the first game that end up being big scoring games from both sides in the second, even more so when both goalies are swapped out.
We took the over this tonight. Last night we cashed the bet on the under. Tonight we're going with the overs.
Absolutely. This one already shaping up to be a barn burner. 1-1 here at the David S. Palmer Arena. 17:37 left to go in the first period as we get a re-face-off here. Fred Hine going up against Liam Little, excuse me. So used to seeing Liam wear one number, and then you see him switch. It's very odd. And not much less switch teams. Almost a dangerous situation there for Danville. Harley White caught out of his net with an errant pass from him, able to just get back there as it's blocked up before the puck can find the net.
Harley White got stuck in between trying to play the puck, and then got a little slow responding to get back in his net.
Now coming up here as Watertown tries to recover off the face-off. It's going to be eventually won by Danville and kept on by Alex Palmerville. Palmerville over to Aaron Atwell, who throws it through there. It's tipped up by Nick Gullo, who does just enough to get a little bit of a tip there, preventing a breakaway. That's going to be dumped in there by Jamie Lucas. As a rotation, we've seen a lot of players already on the ice tonight. The second game of a homestand. As you get more into the season, you're going to rely on that depth a little bit more. Go ahead.
Harley White a little bit shorter and smaller than Gordachuk, but very athletic.
Tanner Hildebrandt fires a nice shot there onto the glove side of Blake Scott, but it's swept up by Scott right there.
Dashers leading the shots on goal category again tonight. Here in the early going, 16:52 left in your first period.
Going to take this face-off is Patrick Zylak and Derek Boudreau. And the drop sees Boudreau win it out. It's going to be recollected here by Vladimir Port, getting the start tonight and last night, as that's almost a breakaway opportunity there. It's up to the task is Troy Murray. Carrying it now is Seth Ensor. Ensor only finds the glove of Lane King, who keeps a hold of it. That's going to be intercepted there by Seth Ensor. Ensor, Murray, Luciani playing a little bit of catch and give here. Coming around, Levi Armstrong's going to fire one on. It's wide and left of the outstretched glove of Blake Scott. Dumped down in there by Troy Murray. As Patrick Zylak's going to play chase. No such luck there as it's wrapped around the boards and finds Tyler Urich. Urich throws one through there. Eventually, Dasher's going to find it, and it's covered up by Blake Scott. We're going to have a face-off right here to the left, I assume, or to the right of Blake Scott.
Last night, both of the goalies were pretty quick to try to put the puck back in play. So far, Blake Scott looks like he'll be settling for a lot of face-offs.
Yeah, it looks like he's willing to grab a hold of it, and maybe for better, as we just saw Harley White get caught out there right at the beginning, trying to get his skates underneath him. Got to do it a little bit faster in this league, as you're going to be faced with a lot of adversity from the start. That one's going to be almost redirected on goal by Watertown, as Johan Hoagland has another shot from the point. Watertown coming back with a break now. That finds Tyler Urich. Urich looking to shoot. Just the puck is moved away by Johan Hoagland. Now it's Tesserero laying a boom on the boards, and that's going to find the stick of Hoagland eventually, as the Dashers do a nice job of getting that one sorted out. And an errant pass there is going to be tipped up by Cameron Dimmitt. It's only going to get as far as White, who hands it back off to Tesserero, looking for a stretch pass to no avail. Watertown now coming back with it. It's popped up by the Dashers. Coming on is Artem Efimov Barakov, who tries to fire through to Tesserero. No such luck, but Barakov playing dismisser here as he grabs a hold of it and intercepts a pass. Now Watertown coming back here, tries to fire through for Cameron Dimmitt, does Marvin Powell, but no such luck as Harley White able to get on the other end of that. Barakov fires through as far as Jamie Lucas, and Jamie Lucas just shoots that one as high as the Empire State Building over the net into the protective net.
Boy, Harley White was just a sitting duck there, but that shot goes high and wide, and the Dashers get a break.
Not a great looking pass there by the Danville defense, who've struggled a little bit so far to connect anything. Now bringing it around here, Alex Palmerville passes to Aaron Atwell, the duo that'll see a lot of ice time this season.
Again, very sloppy, getting the puck out of their own end.
Atwell coming down on the break, tries to make a deke. A shot on Blake Scott is redirected off the pad of Scott. Now coming after it was Fred Hine. He pulls off, though, as Jamie Lucas carries in. Lucas with a nice deke, as that's going to be actually hit by his own teammate. I don't think he was expecting that. That was Liam Little that kind of moved the puck around there.
Atwell getting very aggressive from the defensive end, taking the attack to the net, and the Dashers did not have a forward rotate back out to help him on defense there and almost cost him.
No, certainly did not. Fred Hine wins that faceoff and makes it as far as Aaron Atwell over to Palmerville. Palmerville passes to Gullo, who fires it across to Fred Hine. Hine grabs it with a glove. It just pops out, foots it around net, almost finds a near post of Blake Scott as Fred Hine's back with it now. Tries a deke, loses the puck. Looks like Seth Ensor and Troy Murray kind of fighting over who's going to connect that one. Jesse Nahair out with it now. Is a shot fired on net by Seth Ensor. Almost gets out of the glove of Blake Scott and into the net, but not quite enough behind it. That's going to be an errant pass, going to make its way all the way down to Harley White. Harley White
quickly.
With a beautiful stretch pass there to Nick Gullo, but Gullo unable to do with it anything important. A nice rebound pass here. Vladimir Port carrying in. Port wraps around. He fires on the near side of Harley White, who just wraps that one up in his shoulder and his side, as that's going to be frozen for a faceoff.
Defense all out of kilter there. Harley White was very smart to hang on for the faceoff here.
That one's just kind of a grab it with your armpit and let it go kind of play. As face-off won by Danville, going to be passed around here and get as far as Johan Hoagland, who's almost tripped up by an on-ice official. As Troy Murray passes it around to Seth Ensor. Marco Luciani fighting for this one, but Watertown pesky, not letting it get out of the offensive zone here as they're putting on some pressure on the Dashers, and they look to score 2 in a row here. That one's going to get as far, no icing, as it's going to be played by Watertown. Now passing out is Patrick Zylak, going to keep that one in the zone. It gets as far as Luciani, who throws one down. It's not going to be picked up by Armstrong, who lays the boom on Watertown's number 9 Lane King there. Coming around now is Marco Luciani. Tries to find Patrick Zylak just a little bit too strong as Zilli tries to lay a hit but ends up blowing a tire in the long run. Now recovering behind net is Kyle Powell. Powell passes off there to number 21, Derek Boudreau. If you don't know his name, get to know it. Derek Boudreau, a Deacon, a fake shot, passes over to number 9 there, Lane King. King almost finds Urich on the near side, but no such luck there. A shot on net by Watertown is wide left. And Powell now on the puck as that's swallowed up by Harley White.
This line, when you got Boudreau and Urich out there together, they are quite the two-player game in moving the puck around in the offensive zone, getting a lot of chances, and all of them good chances.
Yeah, they're very, very fun to watch out on the ice together, that's for sure. And you think they're going to be a formidable opponent for just about any team so far this year. Danville back now as that's going to be tipped up from Johan Hoagland. His pass only finds Michael Desjardins.
Good active sticks by Watertown.
Coming back now is Desjardins, passes on to Joseph Devaney. Devaney shoots right at Harley White. No such luck there for Devaney, but Harley White having a pretty good performance thus far after that first goal.
Defense not standing guys up at the blue line, and they're allowing Watertown to have some pretty good rushes, but so far Harley's been up to the task.
And doing away with a lot of wide open opportunities here has Harley White, as that one's going to be kind of scrummed for along the far sidelines. Sideboards. I guess there's lines over there too. As Watertown brings that one down, Tyler Urich tries to find a pass across. He does, and it's a fake shot. A wraparound almost beats Harley White near side, but no such luck as the Dasher defense behind center, AJ Tesorero, is up to the task. Watertown holding on nicely here. Michael Desjardins passes over through the defense. That's going to find number 11, Jamie Lucas here, getting the start tonight. Tanner Hildebrandt uses that big body to force Lucas off the puck. And they're going to try and run with this one. Nick Gullo dekes through. He's going to have a shot. It's blocked by Blake Scott. Scott not able to hold on to very many things so far, but his defense doing a great job collecting rebounds. Nick Gullo with an active stick ends up finding Alex Palmerville on the rebound. And now it's going to be number 90, Dallas Desjardins, with an opportunity. That found Jamie Lucas, who tried to put it in with a backhand, but no such luck.
Little spinorama move, but the puck got loose.
Now Fred Hine carrying across the blue line. He's going to dip it in, trying to find Nick Gullo. That is not going to come back for icing there against the Dashers. Hildebrandt throws that one through. It's going to get redirected 7 or 8 times and go over the ice into the boards.
Really like the combination of Tanner Hildebrandt out there working hard on the offensive end with Nick Gullo. That's a good twosome for the Dashers.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to pair someone with Tyler Hildebrandt that has the speed to keep up with just about anybody on the ice and threaten that way, where Hildebrandt makes a lot of chaos in front of the net. We saw him do it time and time again last night, and maybe even had a little bit of a block earlier on that Johan Hoagland point shot right at the beginning of the game. Fred Hine wins that face-off. It makes its way back to Atwell. Atwell looking for an outlet. He finds one in Tanner Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt shoots on Blake Scott. It's going to be padded out of play. Blake Scott likes to use his pads a lot. It is an effective saving method. It does let up a lot of rebounds. And if you're Danville, you got to look to crash the net and redirect some of those into the net. 11's Wild on time now. 11-11 left in the first period. 1-1 in the first. We see a lot of ones on that board. It's because low-scoring game here early on. As Danville going to force some trouble here. Nick Gullo almost has a shot thanks to a hustle play from Fred Hine. Watertown going to redirect now. Coming down is Michael Desjardins, threatening again. Coming down is Watertown. Liam Little's going to get that off the boards as Little takes a little bit of a hit there on the boards as he's tied up by Fred Hine. As Watertown going to have another shot here. Fred Hine and co. can't get this one out as Fred Hine now redirects it. Pops it sky high. It's only going to find Kyle Powell there. That's Hoagland going to carry across the blue line. Hoagland strong on that play there as he's knocked off his feet there by number 2, Vladimir Port. Port says, "You're strong, but hey, I'm just as strong too," as that one's going to be sticked up by Levi Armstrong and redirected out of play. Shots on goal as we stand, 14 for Danville, 7 for Watertown. and still at a 1-1 here with just over 10 left to go in the first period. Aaron Atwell's going to dump this one down the boards here behind the net of Blake Scott. Scott wraps it around with a light pass as Atwell almost had a chance at that one. Instead, it's dumped by Alex Palmerville as Danville's going to regroup. Carrying behind net is Watertown. Patrick Zylak putting some pressure on. Alex Palmerville dumps to Atwell, tries to dump back to Palmerville, but no one there as Tyler Urich going to carry it down now. Urich, a nice passing deke to get past his man Lane King, trying to create something in front of the net. He's forced off there, though, from Alex Palmerville. Levi Armstrong going to play chase to this one. Doesn't get on it, but Danville does in the end. Lane King now with the puck. King's going to go over and take a shot as that's going to be redirected by Harley White. White found out of his blue zone, and that's a shot and a goal from Tyler Urich.
That puck was just kind of bouncing right in front of the net, and just an easy tuck-in for Watertown.
And Danville not doing a good job at collecting their own rebounds, not necessarily off of shots, but even passes, as Watertown finds their active sticks rewarding in the end.
Each member of the Dashers team came up to Harley there after that goal and said that was on us.
Yeah, he was trying to play as a third defenseman there, but no such luck as Hoagland and Denny now find themselves out there on defense. Patrick Zylak, Jesse Naher, and Artem Efimov Barakov. Barakov going to try and keep this one in as it finds the stick of Watertown. That's a shot on net there from Jesse Naher. It's up in the left of Blake Scott. Watertown now able to carry down here through Joseph Devaney. Devaney looking for something in front as Harley White is screened by his own defenseman there as they're going to try and carry it as the Dashers could have had a 3-on-2. Barakov now carrying in with a shot on net of Blake Scott. Blake Scott a pad away. Watertown now coming the other way here. Carrying on is Cameron Dimmitt. Dimmitt is going to find Joseph Devaney. Tries to put one on there as the puck is lost for a second underneath of Cameron Dimmitt. The Dashers able to recover now, and sometimes looks like they're very threatening, but Blake Scott has been equal to the task just about every time so far. Coming after that one was A.J. Tesserero. Getting on it now is Tanner Hildebrandt making something happen. He goes through to Nick Gullo, just a little bit too far outstretched for the speedster. Gullo now caught up behind the boards as Hildebrandt also caught up back there. Hildebrandt almost had a nice play as Zylak's going to get it. Actually, Seth Ensor fires to Hine. Hine looking to make an impact tonight as that one played with a high stick. It's going to be waved off as Danville has the offensive opportunity. Blocked nicely there from number 10, Michael Desjardins. Hine now on it. Hine fires one through. Tanner Hildebrandt trying to make something happen here as Danville has a promising offensive possession. Fred Hine passing around here. Finds Hildebrandt. Almost redirected in by Nick Gullo as Watertown able to finally get control of the puck. Seth Ensor tries to keep it in, but Danville going to have to recover here. And that one's going to Fred Hine carrying through now. Finds Nick Gullo right into Seth Ensor, who fires on net, but no such luck.
Good hustle by the Dashers to get back on side to give them a chance.
Recovering now is Seth Ensor as Danville looking to build off of that promising offensive opportunity. Ensor using a body to get through and get that puck to Patrick Zylak. Nick Gullo is going to end up with it with a nice deke through two men. Hildebrandt with a shot on net. Blake Scott equal to the task. And it's dumped all the way down. That's going to come back not for an icing. Didn't go far enough before it was played by Aaron Atwell. A full-scale shift change here for the Dashers. Watertown swapping out defense. That one's sloppy there by Aaron Atwell as he gives it right up to Lane King but gets it right back. Marco Luciani coming through now. He passes on there to Patrick Zylak. And Levi Armstrong actually out there now as that's going to be pop for on the boards by both sides. Zylak tries to recover here. And it's being held there by number 2, Vladimir Port of Watertown as we get a little bit of a scrum here. It's Danville that comes out with it, though. A shot put on net would have been a great scoring opportunity for Alex Palmerville. Aaron Atwell tracking the defense here. It's Tyler Urich coming down with it. Marco Luciani tries to recover. He swings and a miss as Vladimir Port recovers with it. Now coming with it is number 27, Kyle Powell.
Dashers defense did a really good job. Derek Boudreau had a good head of steam, but the defense recovered just in time.
Tesserero with a nice stick work takeaway there, but not enough offense going the other way for Danville to make anything of it. Jesse Naher playing pest here as he goes after that one. It's corralled well by Vladimir Port, who pulls it down with a strong hand. Urich open here in the right flat, but carrying it across is going to be Lane King. Powell with a shot on goal. It's swallowed up by Harley White, but not far enough. Watertown getting another shot on net here before the Dasher defense is able to get it into Harley White, who freezes for a faceoff.
Giving up too many rebounds, and that is dangerous with this Watertown club.
As we're going to get our media timeout, Dennis, early thoughts.
Well, the Dashers came out fast and furious, but Watertown has been able to take the advantage here, mainly because of sloppy defense by the Dashers, giving up way too many second chances in front of their own net.
Yeah, definitely. Is Danville going to have to recover from that one, as they now trail 2-1 with 6 minutes left at the media timeout. As we're going to see if they're able to recover here in the later part of the first period. Tommy B announcing the 50-50 as we're going here. Early thoughts and what you would change here if you're Ray Tremblay. What are you saying to the guys?
Well, I think the biggest problem that they have right now, they're on the offensive end. Dashers have been very aggressive and doing a really good job of winning the battles along the boards. That's not where the problem is. The problem has been giving up too many rebounds right in front of your own net and not being quick enough to recover.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see if they can shape up both sides, letting out a lot of rebounds between Blake Scott and Harley White so far. We're going to see who's the first to shape that up, as we've got 3 goals already here in the first period. We're almost on our way to last night's total after a few more here. We'll see if that's going to continue, if the fast-paced scoring will keep going or not. We're going to have a quick break here as the Watertown trainer leaves the ice for a minute. No big deal. We got an abundance of trainers here. And a lot of people that would try and be trainers even though they don't know anything about doing it. A face-off here is won by Tesserero. That's going to be pushed around by Brad Denny. Going to find the stick of Jesse Nahair, who throws through to Artem Efimov Barakov. Barakov, it's a big hit there from Liam Little on the side. Liam Little not one to lay the boom too much, but he does indeed there. Artem Efimov Barakov is doing everything he can to hold on, including going between his legs. Barakov trying to shove this one past Blake Scott, but no such luck as it's tied up there. And so are the Dashers and the Wolves.
Boy, he was working really hard trying to get something going there, but just no openings to get the puck out to one of his offensive cohorts there for a big chance. Finally just tried to shove it in.
Watertown's trainer really athletically getting back here into their box. Kudos to that man. That was awesome. Went to go get something for somebody on the bench. We don't need to disclose that information here. Fred Hine wins a faceoff. It's shot on net there by Johan Hoagland. We've seen him score a couple of those. That was Tanner Hildebrand, actually. Murray and Ensor out there are the defenders for Danville as they're in the offensive zone trying to work something out here. Fired on the net, almost shot in by Fred Hine. Blake Scott standing on his head there.
Just could not elevate. If he would have been able to get that puck up in the air, he had the goalie down and at his mercy. But a good effort by Blake Scott coming up strong in the goal.
Blake Scott has played a few games here at Danville. Fans will no doubt remember him. Played some times here in net. Served a lot as the backup for a couple really good Dasher teams. That's a shot on net there from the back. That's going to be Murray firing that on as Ensor and Murray have switched sides on the Dasher defense. That's kept in by a nice shove there from Murray as Fred Hine coming out with it. Finds a center shot there. Almost put on by Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt almost able to recover now. Coming the other way is Justin Coachman carrying in. Coachman with a big cross check to the mouth of Seth Ensor, and that was a stick to the mouth there of Ensor.
No call at all.
I'm surprised that didn't draw blood.
Man, it did.
Yeah, it did, and that's an automatic stop of play.
He's absolutely hurt. There were a couple of players that got a mouthful there, and nothing called on the play.
And Ray Tremblay is signaling there to the referee that he's missed 2 calls so far. As the referee shakes his head, the on-ice official not willing to call that one. And just focusing on the play there, I do believe, was where the head of the on-ice officials were. They've done an awesome job so far this season, so you hate to see any contestation there between coach and him. And you also hope to see the Dasher player that came out be better in the end. Aaron Atwell delivers a very risky pass there, picks it up off of Alex Palmerville. Palmerville carrying through now. A nice deke finds Marco Luciani, but Luciani has a stick flare up as that's going to get all the way back to Vladimir Port. A long stretch pass there to the stick of Lane King. King fires through to Tyler Urich. Urich going to try and send that one down the boards. It's going to end up with Lane King again. Back to Port, and Port's going to shoot one on to Harley White there, but White up to the task as that was through a couple screens there. Levi Armstrong now corrals that one under his feet.
Another weak effort trying to clear.
And Powell almost ends up with a shot there, Kyle Powell. That's going to find Derek Boudreau in the back here. Now he finds Vladimir Port more with his body than with his puck because that puck was held on nicely by Derek Boudreau. Lane King now with it in the corner. King to Boudreau. Back to Port, who keeps it nicely in the offensive zone and skates through. A shot on net is blocked up by Alex Palmerville before it has a chance. Port trying to slide that one in off the rebound now is going to be finding Marco Luciani, who sends that one all the way down. That's going to go just wide, actually going to be played up by Blake Scott, but called for an icing nonetheless as the referee hangs his head on that one.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a center ice face-off here.
Yeah, I actually didn't think Blake Scott was going to play that one as well, nor I would have if I were in a situation, but it's so easy to say that from up here, isn't it?
Yeah, the puck looked like it was going to go wide, and the linesman made the call anticipating, and they're doing that to prevent any big contact.
3:38 here left in the first period, and that's going to come all the way back to Brad Denny. Johan Hoagland, the goal scorer, throwing it through here to find a hole, but no such luck as it's picked up by Joseph Devaney. Thrown down the ice here. Hoagland hoping to be the first one on that one, and he is after fighting off Michael Desjardins. Desjardins skates around him to pick it up, though. Desjardins with some nice, fast footwork.
Ooh, another sloppy pass trying to clear the zone.
A very sloppy pass comes back here. That's going to be brought back for an offside.
Dashers got lucky that puck just leaked outside the blue line because, again, they got very sloppy not once but twice trying to clear the puck.
I keep thinking in my head what it must feel like to have a stick go up into your teeth, and I am just shivering at that. Johan Hoagland tries to dump it in there as a tire is blown by Jesse Nahair. Ending up with it is Watertown's number 47 there. Is going to bring it down and dump it into the zone, carrying the whole way through as a nice wraparound attempt is fought out by the Dasher defense, and then Blake Scott. Watertown blows a skate, no tripping called on the play there. Jesse Nahair bringing it into the zone. Now Nahair fires a shot on Blake Scott. Goes full split to grab that one with his glove, trying to beat him glove side again in the upper corner.
2:41 left in the first period. Dashers down 2-1.
And coming back now, Marvin Powell on the ice there for Watertown. Haven't seen as much of him. Another noticeable admission here. Justin Browsen yet to see the ice as much tonight. Maybe getting some rest on those legs for Danville. Hildebrandt throws that one through for Hine, who almost finds Henser. Hildebrandt with a shot. It's swallowed up in a mass of bodies. Now on it is Seth Ensor. Ensor's had some trouble getting his passes off cleanly so far tonight, as Fred Hine takes a big hit right into Alex Palmerville, I do believe, is trapped there in the corner. No, it's Marco Luciani. Troy Murray trying to defend off another Watertown promising offensive chance here. Jamie Lucas has been active, and he's carrying the puck around as he turns it over to Fred Hine. Hine looks for an outlet pass. It's going to be tipped up by Watertown, finding all the way back by Blake Scott, who's going to freeze it in preparedness for the oncoming Tanner Hildebrandt.
Had two of his defensemen right there, but did not like the look of the Dashers offensive guys streaking towards the goal.
Now to the face-off circle, Patrick Zylak and Derek Boudreau. Boudreau wins that one for Watertown. It's brought around here by 27 Kyle Powell. Powell finds Boudreau, and Boudreau's pass is knocked up nicely by Tesserero. Boudreau now back on it. Finds Vladimir Port. Port carries across the blue line. Port open here. Gonna try and bring something out of it. He's fought off there nicely as the Lane King picks up the puck on the other end of the ice. King comes back
nice
with a slash. Nothing called from the referees anyway. AJ Tesserero and Lane King almost dropped the gloves on that, as now we're going to see a penalty called. It's delayed in favor of Danville, as Fred Hine is going to see it. Harley White comes to the bench here. Hine, Palmerville, Atwell, Luciani out there, Jesse Naher. Nick Gullo now finds the ice. Fred Hine out there. Palmerville going to be content to sit this one out and look for a strong offensive opportunity on the delayed penalty. You're trying to make that referee's arm tired unless you score. That's the name of the game. Dump down here quickly. A nice pass on the boards to Hildebrandt. Touched up there by Watertown, as in now they're going to corral that, and that's going to be a penalty on Watertown for slashing.
Yeah, Watertown got away with that first slash. Here's the tough part in hockey. A lot of stuff can go on behind the back of the official. It is tough to call hockey games.
In many ways, in many roles, it's very hard, and sometimes things happen in front of the back of referees, and you're just watching the play so intently that you get caught up in it. I would never try and referee hockey, that is for sure.
First penalty of the game comes with 53.2 left in the first period.
Youth T-ball is hard enough to referee, let me tell you, from experience. Marvin Powell out on the penalty kill. Alex Palmerville collects it for Danville. They're going to try and make something out of it. 44 seconds left in the period. Fred Hine going to have a shot here probably. He's going to pass it through actually to Nick Gullo. Hine on the point. Hine with a shot. Blake Scott pads away. Collecting here is Alex Palmerville. Dumps it down to Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt fires in there to Nick Gullo. Gullo going to rotate this one around, probably get it back to Palmerville here as he stops short, going to Palmerville. Palmerville with a nice puck deke there is going to find Gullo again. Gullo and Palmerville playing some nice touch pass here. Gullo now back to Palmerville again like a broken record. That's going to be Denny with a shot on. It's not on net, though. Brad Denny going to keep this one in the offensive zone for the Dashers. Right to Tanner Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt over to Gullo. Hine waiting behind the net, trying to make something happen. Hine now with a shot is nicely played there by number 7, Justin Coachman, as the period comes to an end. The Dashers going to go into the second period with 1:06 of penalty left.
Good effort in that power play, the first minute of that power play by your Dashers, but came up empty.
And both teams going to make their way out to the side here, getting out of the ice. Ray Tremblay actually very quick to walk out there. As looking on is Levi Armstrong, kind of waiting to go out on the ice there. Tries to say hello to Marvin Powell, I'm sure, as both of them were coming out right off the bat. Early thoughts from that first period here.
Well, a little sloppy on defense for the Dashers, but they came out strong on the offensive end, just not getting the chances that they need on the offensive end. They got a lot of shots in that first period, but not a lot of quality shots, I guess you could say.
Yeah, most definitely. They're going to be looking to get a little bit more opportunity here as we head into the second period. A lot of rebounds needing to be cleaned up from both sides. Blake Scott, very fond of using those pads so far tonight. The Dashers will look to jump on that, and as well, Harley White not having the greatest time with rebounds, and White actually going to take the deficit into the period as Watertown leads Danville 2-1 here at the end of the first period. We're going to take an intermission break here, but we'll be right back with you for the second period of Danville Dasher hockey. Smooth dancing.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Wait.
Are you dancing out of excitement that we're back for the second period?
Absolutely.
And we're back for the second period. If you didn't catch that the first time I said it, the on-ice officials skating back here onto the ice as we're getting ready for period numero dos. And the score is 2-1 Watertown over Danville here currently. We want to take a second to thank our sponsors because they are awesome. Right now we see some people over in the best seat in the house tonight that's sponsored by Court. That's located over on the east end of the arena, right up on the glass. You can see the action up close. Make sure to drop your ticket stub in the bucket at Fan HQ right there in the entrance. One lucky fan and a guest are chosen at every game to upgrade to those nice and comfy seats over there.
Yeah, and it is very comfortable over there. I've watched a few practices from there.
Well, coming up in just a few weeks, I cannot believe it's this time of year already. November 27th, join us for Friendsgiving. Bring your friends for a fun night with the Dashers. Friends trivia from the TV show, I'm assuming. Lots of prizes, and someone will be winning what I need to eat right now, a giant turkey.
Ooh.
I am in desperate need for some food. If you hear this and you happen to be driving around Danville with an extra turkey and you want to drop it by, feel free. We're right here at the David S. Palmer Arena.
Or turkey sandwiches, a turkey pizza, heck, anything on a pizza.
You can put anything on a pizza. Can you put pineapple on a pizza, Dennis?
I'm not a big fan of pineapple on a pizza, although I have put up with it before.
The answer is yes, Dennis. Yes, you can.
Hey, I'm a Chicago guy. You know, we treat our pizza with a little more respect up there.
We treat our pizza with French dressing down here, that's for sure.
Yes, we do. Monocles. I love monocles.
Also coming up in that same weekend, November 30th is Military Night. That's always a very fun one here. Join us as we honor the men and women who serve our country. The Dashers will be wearing special jerseys that evening. We have something awesome cooked up for that. I cannot wait to see those jerseys. They're always incredible.
Are we going to be in fatigues that night?
I think we should. I actually own fatigues. So
great idea.
We could do that. We could definitely do that.
I think that would be a cool idea.
Hopefully have the opportunity. I'm going to try and talk the U of I's ROTC color guard into coming out to that game, possibly.
That'd be fantastic.
I have pretty close relations with somebody on that core. Fred Hine and number 21 there. Derek Boudreau taking the face off as Hine loses it out. Watertown coming down the fresh ice here. Boudreau carrying in, dumps it down into the Dasher defensive zone. Brad Denny picking it up now. Denny skating behind the ice, content to sit this one out, let the ice get chopped up a little bit. Denny over to Hine. Coming down the right side here is number 9, Marco Luciani. Hine carrying in, finds Jesse Nahair. Nahair passing it back here, finds Palmerville. Palmerville to Nahair. Back to Luciani. Palmerville over to Brad Denny. Denny back to Palmerville. Palmerville fires a shot on net, almost redirected up in by Jesse Nahair, but no such luck there as it goes up harmlessly into the netting.
Little change up on the defensive line for the Dashers. Used to seeing Johan Hugland out there with Brad Denny.
You are indeed. A little bit of a switch up here and some pairings as we see Palmerville and Atwell coming out tonight. Dashers missing Ben Bukal, and you can see it. I mean, you can see the effect as a rocket fired there by Marvin Powell all the way down to Hartley White, excuse me. Mixing our two goalies together. Fred Hine passes it through here. He's going to hold and carry into the offensive zone. He's trying to make something happen himself as he's going to get his own rebound. Tries to fire it past Blake Scott. No such luck. Comes back out to the point for Palmerville. Palmerville loses it between his legs and puts it down the crease to Hine. Now Jesse Nahair is going to have to touch that one up. Nahair back to Hine. Hine's going to try and find the line of sight here. Watertown crashing the goal well as Nahair almost finds a shot there. It's swallowed up by Blake Scott. Didn't even see where that puck went, but Blake Scott sure did.
It just kind of sucked it right up off of the stick of the Dashers player as they tried to get a quick little touch pass out front, but come up empty.
And if you're just now joining us, 2-1 Watertown right here. 18:49 left in the second period. Coming on it now is Watertown. Coming down is Derek Boudreau. Boudreau going to pass it around to Urich. Urich shoots, and it's going to be redirected up and out of play and back into play by the Wall. The Wall doing a great job at being a formidable force. Much like a rock, the only thing that can stop it is another hard place. Surely not a hockey puck. Coming back on it now, Derek Boudreau going to take the face-off here against AJ Tesserero. That's going to be dropped in and won by Tesserero for Danville. Brad Denny taking it behind the net now. Skates around and finds the stick of... Actually, that's Artem Efimov Barakov out there now. Brad Denny on the point. Tries to fire a looping shot in there. It's going to be redirected by Tanner Hildebrandt as he's carrying it back around. Brought back now by Watertown. That's Lane King throwing it down the ice. It's going to be swept up by Barakov, who passes it back to Brad Denny. Denny switching sides all over the place tonight on the defensive end. That one comes right up into the stands and hits a fan. She appears to be okay, though. Going to be happy about that one. You take a souvenir for your punishment. That's what happens in hockey.
I wonder if Johan Hagelin was having a little skate issue coming back for the second period. As maybe that's why we saw the change on the defense line, because we're back to the normal defensive pairings.
Zylak and Dimmitt taking the face-off here now. As we're coming back around here, or Danville going to keep this one in the offensive zone. Coming back around with it is Barakov. Actually, Levi Armstrong out there now. We're making quick succession changes here for Danville. And just letting it slip out of the offensive zone is Seth Ensor. Watertown now going to have a shot that's swallowed up by Harley White.
Good job by Harley. He had that one all the way.
Off the stick of Michael Desjardins, who had a nice breakaway opportunity after the Danville defense got a little bit sloppy with their puck care.
You're doing an excellent job with the French-Canadian names this week.
I am French Cajun, so it does help. Coming back here as Watertown takes it along. Troy Murray with a little bit of a trip up there on the stick of number 25, Joseph Devaney. Now bringing it down is AJ Tesserero, who throws that one down into the side. Marco Luciani out there. It tries to fire one on front of the net, and Luciani unable to get a hold of that one. Seth Ensor with a shot that goes right off of the leg of Michael Desjardins. And that's going to get stuck up behind the net, but brought down there by Watertown, who were able to recover after a while. Joseph Devaney now coming down here. Finds Cameron Dimmitt. Dimmitt carries into the offensive zone. He's going to have a shot, and that goes wide of the net. On it for a moment was Artem Efimov Barakov, not able to do anything with it here. Now coming down the other end is Ensor. And Jesse Naher on puck fires it over to Murray. The shot from Zylak actually is no good on the end. A nice deke there from Zylak, trying to get it in with a backhand, but Blake Scott, what a night he's having so far. With 16:48 left in the second period, just allowed the one goal off of the rocket from the stick of Johan Hoagland.
Again, the Dashers offensive player not able to elevate that shot, making it an easy stop.
Absolutely. Coming down, Danville wins the faceoff, almost finds the corner again, does Jesse Naher. Naher lays a big hit into the boards, but Watertown going to end up on this one. That's going to come back for an icing. It did make it far enough, and it was not touched up. That was nicely done there. Naher laying the boom, and actually goes over and touches the glove there of the person the boom was laid on, and that's going to be a familiar name to most here, Liam Little, the former Dasher.
Officials doing a good job there of getting in between the two of them and kind of giving them a little talking to.
And you know, in those big hits, they can be all business or they can be kind of harsh as a shot's fired on there by Watertown. Oh, a big hit laid in return there. That's coming off of somebody who got actually tangled up a few times in some altercations, Justin Coachman. Aaron Atwell going to carry this one down the ice. Taking on three here. To his right is Jesse Naher. Naher ends up with it. He's going to fire it across the blue zone, but it gets tipped up there by Coachman on a nice sliding defensive play. Now coming the other way is Jamie Lucas. Fires a shot on. It's directed by White into the glass. Watertown lucky to not be caught with too many men on the ice there as that puck came dangerously close to the bench. They were penalized for that once last night. Dimmitt with a shot on. That's going to wrap its way all the way around to Derek Boudreau. Boudreau now throws it along, is pushed into the glass by Jesse Naher. Now on it is Kyle Powell. Powell finds his point, and that is a shot from the point there by the other Powell. Two Powells out on the ice here.
Watertown pouring it on the offensive end.
Danville able to recover now. They have a breakaway. That's Nick Gullo on the break. Nick Gullo tries to backhand it in. It's swept off his feet. Not coming back for a penalty shot. No tripping called there by the referee as Gullo goes flying into the boards from behind. And the Dashers crowd is not going to be happy about that one after a rocky first period. Gullo's not happy either. Slams his stick there on the side.
Crowd didn't like it. The coaching staff didn't like it.
Now coming back here, Barakov going to try and settle this one down, but it's kept in nicely there by Kyle Powell for Watertown. With a shot on net's Urich, but it's blocked up by Hildebrandt. Actually, Johan Hoagland is now back out on the ice. Two very similar body styles. One plays offense, one plays defense. Urich with almost a shot on. It's broken up by the aforementioned Alex Palmerville. Palmerville lays a big hit there on Urich. They're going to try and slow him up. Powell now on it, tries to fire one in for Urich. Urich unable to get a stick on it to redirect. Hoagland carousing the defense here as Lane King has the puck. All 5 Watertown Wolves on the right side of Harley White's goal. AJ Tesorero getting a stick caught up there in a Watertown stick. Now on it is Vladimir Port. Port throws one down along the glass. It's going to make its way all the way around to Joseph Devaney. Now in it is Watertown trying to fire one across the blue zone. No such luck as Watertown now caught in a 3-on-2 as one comes off the bench. A nice deke there from Barakov. He's going to wrap it around. It's up to the task, though, is the goalie for Watertown, Blake Scott.
Good effort there by the Dashers, turning that one around. They needed to get the puck out of their defensive end in quickly, but doing a good job instead of just settling for dumping the puck out to carry it out and get a good chance.
14-10 left here in the second period as Marco Luciani's on it now. Almost there for Zylak as he tries to flick one back, but coming the other way now is number 47 for Watertown, and he's going to fire a shot on. Nobody listed as 47 on their roster, at least not the one we have. Awkward moment. Now coming back is Watertown. That's going to find Tesorero out in the flat as he's shoved off the puck there by number 15, Cameron Dimmitt, who's having an active night on the defensive side of things.
47 is Igor Kostakov.
Igor Kostyakov. A name very familiar to me here. A nice deke work is sought out. Watertown puts a rebound in as sticks were tied up and the Dasher defense was almost all in front of goalie Harley White.
Too much of a crowd out there in front of Harley. He didn't have a chance after that rebound was given up.
Watertown goes up by a score of 3-1. You got to stop the bleeding here if you're Danville. You can't get this one out of control.
Dashers got a little lazy on the defensive side that play. We're sort of back on their heels, letting Watertown get the offensive, and then when they gave up the rebound in front of the net, couldn't clear it.
Glad to see Nick Gullo back out on the ice. He takes another hard hit. That one from Marvin Powell, the ex-former fan favorite here in Danville. This one's going to find its way all the way around the boards here. Trying to get on it is Danville. It does end up with Nick Gullo in the end after a nice play there from number 6 for the Dashers.
Taken down again behind the play.
Coming back here as we're getting a little bit chippy as we're going to see Seth Ensor lay another hit here as that's going to be sent in front of Harley White. Harley White just been swallowed up by many from Watertown, and that penalty...
Delayed penalty on the Dashers this time.
...is going to be a hooking.
Gullo again was wrapped up down in their offensive end, and I think might have been a little retaliation on the part of the Dashers, and they got caught.
Troy Murray going to be the one sent to the sin bin here for the Dashers.
13:05 left in the second period. This is a must penalty kill for the Dashers, or this one will be out of hand.
Very early on here still in terms of game time, but you're down 2. You cannot go down by 3 here in the FPHL. It is very hard to come back from that as teams content to sit back on leads like that. King with a shot on net is swallowed up by White as he gets his first true glove save of the night, able to hold on to that one no problem.
It's a serve throw.
And this penalty kill, as Tommy B said, I don't know if it picked up on the mic, is sponsored by Serve Pro. Let the experts clean for you there. Cameron Dimmitt bringing it around here as he is passing off to Lane King. King, Dimmitt, Urich now on front of net as that one's shot up into the pads of Harley White.
Yeah, those crews from Serve Pro do a great job. Had a flood once with a water heater that went haywire. They clean it up really quick for you.
And if that's not the best promo I've ever heard, I don't know what is. Coming back here is Cameron Dimmitt. Derek Boudreau still out there. Tyler Urich, Lane King as the Dashers are at a penalty kill. 12:40 left in the period. 1:32 left on the penalty kill for Danville on that Serve Pro penalty kill. Trying to get this one out with anything they can do is Tanner Hildebrandt. Doesn't only gets as far as the skate of the Watertown point man, though. Now passing in. It's redirected on the net there by Derek Boudreau, but no such luck finding the net. It finds instead the wall Passed around here. Number 27 on it now. Austin Petrie. A shot fired on by Urich from the point. Urich slotting back from his center spot into the point to take some shots. Lane King now on the outside as Watertown with some nice passing link up. Lane King with a shot on that's patted away by White. Now going back forward is Hildebrandt, fighting hard for that one as the Dashers really need to get this one out of their zone. A shot on net is redirected by Derek Boudreau into the net. Nothing Harley White could do about that one. That one was played waist high there by the point for Watertown, and Boudreau slots it home.
The Dashers defense was doing a lousy job of protecting the front of the net on that power play, and they finally had it bite them.
4-1 Watertown here in the second period. This one's getting out of control in a hurry.
Dashers players look a little frustrated, but I think you're going to see some spirit from the boys here.
That'll do it for the Surf Pro penalty kill here. Now coming out is Seth Enser. Jesse Nahair out there as well. To a point to Hoagland, who fires a misfire there off the stick. He can hit those for sure. You want to test Blake Scott here. He hasn't been super reliable in the easy going, especially in terms of rebounds. Doing a great job, though. He's only got one goal let in so far. That one's going to be redirected as high as a Mookie Betts pop fly here at the center of the ice. That one's going to come out to Fred Hines. Shot! Oh, and a beautiful save by Blake Scott there with the glove.
Dashers have just not been getting a lot of juice on these passes tonight. And it is shown, but that time got a really good solid shot off. But Blake Scott up to the task.
Dashers now getting some offensive zone play here as we go down, and Watertown going to be coming back the other way. On the stick now is Liam Little. Hoagland throws that one around, trying to find actually Brad Denny. They've switched sides again. And Brad Denny, Hoagland out there. Hoagland now going to be on it, fighting with Cameron Dimmitt for possession. Dimmitt finds another stick of Watertown. Now going the other way with it is going to be Seth Ensor. Ensor with a nice move there. Jesse Nahair bringing it back in pursuit. Drops it over to Watertown as Watertown going to be able to recover from this one. Now bringing it up is Derek Boudreau. Passes over to Preston Kugler. And back here is Tyler Urich. Urich, a shot on net there. It's swallowed up by Harley White.
Made sure not to give up a rebound that time, but he did have lots of help from the Dashers defense.
And that's going to be key here if they want to get back into this game. You're down 3. You can't go down 4. And I said you can't go down 3 in the first place. It's going to be hard to turn over these odds. Still plenty of time left in the game, though. 10:42 left in the second period. We're at full 5-on-5 hockey here. A shot on net by Watertown. A beautiful save from Harley White. He didn't have any time to react to that one. Pulls that one out of thin air off the stick of Tyler Urich.
After that face-off, that puck was just sitting there, and the Dashers couldn't get to it. Watertown did, and boy, that was a good stop.
On for the face-off here, TJ Tesserero getting the call. Ensor tries to force into the boards here, but Watertown just out skating Danville on the offensive side right now. That one's dumped into Urich. Urich playing an extended shift here. He's the kind of guy that can play long shifts late into the game, though. That one's going to be forced on to Boudreau. Boudreau just almost beats Harley White, who's just flaring to get any kind of help from his defense. Now bringing it over is Patrick Zylak. Zylak with a nice shot there on Blake Scott. Blake Scott is standing on his head literally to make these saves and keep the Dashers out of the net.
Tumbling around on the ice to hang on to that one.
You might even call it tactical flailing if you're a Watertown fan here.
That was a really, really good stop. That was a good chance for the Dashers, but once again, Blake Scott having a big game between the pipes.
Blake Scott has looked great here tonight so far as a backup keeper for Watertown. Shades of when he played for Danville, had a few really good outings for the Dashers even last season. That one's passed down here by Watertown. A shot on net of Harley White. Going to be shot out of the goal, though. No goal there as we're bringing it around. Palmerville fights for that one. Now on it is Jesse Nahair. Nahair freezes it up along the boards. Watertown going to eventually recover this one. It comes all the way out to Kyle Powell. Powell throws an errant pass to his cohort Powell. That's Marvin Powell, though, on the other side. A wraparound opportunity there for Jamie Lucas. Now coming the other way is Powell. Powell shoots on to the left and almost redirected into the net of Harley White, but no such luck there for Watertown, looking for their 5th goal of the night. Now with it is Alex Palmerville. A nice stick deke to get that one out. He throws it down. That one is going to come back for an icing.
Boy, Watertown on that offensive play looked like they had an extra man on the ice.
Yeah,
they were just getting to every puck. The Dashers were just flat-footed again on defense. And it was pretty close to being 5-1.
Then you've also got the issue that you're being outskated in just about every term here. Not a lot of speed coming out of the Dashers right now as they're down by 3. They really need to put this one into high gear.
Watertown also winning the battle on the boards here in the second period.
Going to be thrown down there by Tesserero. Tesserero drops it off to Hine, who shoots one onto the net of Scott. Swallowed up easily for a face-off. Now Watertown doing a noticeably good job here of closing down all the angles on shooting. A lot of the Dashers' shots so far, though, I do believe they're still very close in contention for the most total shots in this game. A lot of them coming from very tight angles from the corner of the goal. We saw a few goals on that side last night, but not tonight, as you're going to be very far-fetched to get very many goals from that side of the net, especially against Blake Scott.
9:07, we're going to get our media timeout. And the Dashers have really, this is the worst period of hockey we've seen out of the boys this year. Just very, very sluggish looking here in the second period.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that. Well, we're here in the second period for our media timeout. Dashers down 4-1. We want to make sure to thank Danville Township, who's doing a lot of the sponsoring for tonight. They're doing a food drive, and all food that is collected this evening will be donated right to the Danville Township. We're doing a food drive here, and there was a deal. If you brought some, you got in for free. If you forget to bring a donation tonight, there is still time to bring one. Drop your food off at the office here at the David S. Palmer Arena next week, Monday through Thursday. If you bring a bag full of food, you'll get in a drawing for a fan pack of goodies. Bring 2 bags, get in there twice. You know, we're going to try and help out those in need this holiday season, and that's kind of what the season's all about, honestly.
Between the Dashers helping out and also the Festival of Trees does a good job of collecting food items and, taking good care of our less fortunate folks here in the area.
Coming down the ice is Joseph Devaney. He's flanked by Michael Desjardins. Devaney with a shot on that's redirected all the way up, almost into the skybox, off the stick of the Dashers defense. I do believe Patrick Zylak actually got on the other end of that one. Hoagland also there to cover.
Again, that puck was just sitting there for a while, and the Dashers not quick to react. Watertown all over it.
Now coming out with it is Hoagland. Hoagland fires up to Zylak, who loses that one. It's almost brought back for an offside. And although Michael Desjardins did not play it, it will come to an offside. That does take a little bit of a momentum swing away from the Dashers, who had numbers going on, so they'll bring it actually right back down into the other side of the ice in Dashers' offensive territory.
Yeah, that was another one of those inadvertent whistles.
And sometimes that happens. You get a little bit ahead of the call, and it looked like it was going to be played, and it wasn't, in fact, but well done to make up for it right off the back here. That's kept in play there by the Dashers right on the offensive side. Very nicely done. Tesserero shrugs off a hit into the boards. Tesserero fires out to the point man. Brad Denny not able to corral a pass from Johan Hoagland. Another episode of sloppy passing there from the duo on the point.
Looked very frustrated with himself on that one.
Tesserero carries through 2 defenders with a nice deke. He's going to get hit, but keep hold of the puck. Man, he is taking a beating, but also keeping hold of the puck nicely. Now digging forward is Hoagland. Hoagland kind of caught out of position there, but ends up with it anyway as he fires an errant pass back to Brad Denny, who's going to have time to recover and send it back to Hoagland. Caught on a shift change is Watertown. If Danville would have acted quicker, they would have had it. Now Watertown with an offensive opportunity. A shot, and it's blocked by Harley White with a nice sprawling save as Watertown still threatening on the offensive end here. Now pass across to Cameron Dimmitt. No such luck there trying to find Joseph Devaney. Devaney going to recover here. He's going to send it through down to the backwards part of the ice. Here's Lane King recovers with it. King brings it around. King looking for any option. Brings it out to the point to Powell here. That's going to be a shot on net. Trying to redirect it is Vladimir Port. And number 21, Derek Boudreau, not able to put that one in net. Dashers looking a little sloppy with the passing, turning over on promising offensive opportunities. No such luck, and every bounce of the puck seemingly going the other way here in Danville.
Yeah, Watertown only had 2 players that were in the play versus 4 for the Dashers, and they came up with what was a really good scoring opportunity.
7:36 left to play. at David S. Palmer Arena in the second period. Going to have another period after this one, obviously, but might not be much of a game if the Dashers can't pull something back here quickly. Putting it down to Jamie Lucas. That's going to be redirected there by the Dashers. Now coming out with it is Fred Hine. Fred Hine getting quickly regrouped on by the Watertown Wolves. Fred Hine has his shot blocked there by Marvin Powell, who's had some solid shifts so far tonight. This one tied up in the corner. You got a Dasher and a Watertown Wolf both trying to claim it, as it looks like guys shoveling coal out of a mine there. It's eventually picked up by Fred Hine, thrown in on Blake Scott. Jesse Nahair getting a little bit tied up there as Nahair finds himself in the arms of a, I'm sure, lovingly embracing Watertown defender.
The Dashers are showing a little bit of their frustration there on that play.
Indeed, is Danville going to settle here on the puck freeze for a face-off. Coming onto the ice is A.J. Tesserero, Tanner Hildebrandt. Aaron Atwell also out there with Alex Palmerville. Making the way to the bench is Nick Gullo, Jesse Nahair, Fred Hine, who have had a largely non-impactful night tonight. Nothing really coming on the offensive end for Danville just yet. Atwell going to end up with it here. He fires through trying to find Zylak. Zylak in on net there, almost has an opportunity. It's shot out by Blake Scott, though.
Beautiful play, getting that opportunity, but just came up short.
Now on it is Tesserero, who's back on the ice. A little bit of a late shift there. Watertown going to be able to recover. Aaron Atwell tries to keep it onside, but will resort to taking it back across the blue line here himself. Atwell trying to make something happen. Atwell throws it across a nice backwards pass. Just nobody crashing on net there as Patrick Zylak nowhere to be found. Hard into the boards, forcing his Zylak, who's almost looked like a defender tonight with some of the hits he's laid out. Credit to him for the hustle there. A.J. Tesserero looking for anywhere to go with it, and that's not going to come back for a tripping there on Tesserero as he was going for the puck. Coming out is Zylak. He loses hold of it right in front of the net of Harley White. You can't be losing pucks that close in on your goalie. You got to give him at least a little bit of time to watch for it.
Again, sloppy play. A.J. just couldn't get anything on that little pass along the boards.
And as a result, we're going to see a shift change here on the offense and one from the defense. Johan Hoagland, Fred Hine coming out, as well as Alex Palmerville. Nick Gullo out there as well. Watertown able to win the faceoff, though. A shot on by Vladimir Port is swallowed up by Harley White, who elects to freeze it once again, and we'll restart just as we were.
Good job there with the stick save and then covering up with the glove in a hurry.
6 minutes left here in the second period. 4-1 Watertown. Now on the face-off here, it's Fred Hine, number 21, Derek Boudreau. That one's won by Boudreau and shot out to Port. Port going to pass it down to Lane King. King fires behind to Tyler Urich, who's unable to corral it, but does eventually. Now Boudreau on it. Boudreau coming behind the net, almost fires one on there. Lane King now with it. A shot across the blue line there. It's going to almost find the arms of Watertown's assistant, but not quite there. Was it for number 25. Coming across now, Urich has his shot blocked nicely by Brad Denny. Coming out and playing defense there as the Dashers almost have a breakaway, and they do. That one's kept in by Nick Gullo, who tries to pass it through. He's having trouble finding his skate there. They're going to call that one back for a delayed penalty. That's going to be... I don't recognize that signal. I don't know. We're going to see. We'll get the official word here in just a second. It's going to be on Watertown.
Derek Boudreau will go to the penalty box.
Not often I see an unrecognizable signal here. I wonder what that's all about. Must be a very little called penalty here as we see a 2-minute minor come up as Derek Boudreau makes his way over there. Current shots on, 37 for the Dashers, nothing to show from it, 27 to Watertown. Blake Scott playing a heck of a game. Patrick Zylak goes into the board to keep that one. Tanner Hildebrandt now using his body to grab that one. Palmerville out there with Atwell. Atwell's going to pass that one in to Jesse Nahair. Nahair back to Atwell. No penetration here from the Dashers yet as they've struggled with that all night tonight, even on limited power play opportunities. Atwell fires one on. It's blocked up, though, by Watertown. Zylak with it now. Pass is out to Tesserero, the goal scorer last night. Tesserero fires one off the face mask of Blake Scott. Got to be there in the right moment, and he was. Tesserero now on it. As a fired on, it's blocked up, and Watertown doing a great job at swallowing up these shots. That was Dallas Desjardins on that one.
Dashers' offensive players just don't seem to be on the on the same page tonight.
Zylak almost fires one in, but it's high and wide of the net. Now on it is Atwell. Atwell going to do a nice stick deke, almost works it through for a shot on net, but Watertown doing a great job at holding their position and not letting anything get through. Oh, a shot on net off a beautiful pass from Patrick Zylak, but no such luck for Tanner Hildebrand. That's going to come out to Atwell, back to Zylak. Zylak with a shot on. It's going to be blocked up in the skate of Desjardins again. A big hit delivered from Patrick Zylak. A shot that's swallowed up, and Blake Scott is just sitting on that puck there, content to get out of that one. That was a huge hit from Patrick Zylak to get this crowd back into it.
And Zylak with another little push and shove after the play. The fans love seeing a little bit of passion out of their Dashers.
The official word on the penalty, which now has 40 seconds left, is holding on Derek Boudreau.
That was a little different.
It was
signal.
Indeed. It was a little more horizontal than I'm used to. Fred Hine now onto this face-off. Fred Hine loses the face-off. Watertown might have a chance here. Nope. It's going to come back here to Seth Ensor. Ensor to Hine. Hine not afraid to shoot here. Hine will shoot here. Blake Scott just in the right place at the right time. He has been so much tonight as that's swallowed up for a face-off.
Watertown defense did a really good job of clearing out the front of the net there, allowing their goalie a chance to get that puck under control.
3:54 here left in the second period. 4-1 Watertown. 30 seconds left on the penalty kill for Watertown. We're on a Jenna Worth power play for the Dashers. That one's going to be sticked up, and the pass redirected out of play there off the stick of number 11, Jamie Lucas.
I believe Jenna Worth is your State Farm agent, licensed in both Illinois and Indiana.
I've heard that one a few times. Weird. Dashers now on it. That one's going to be sent down. Jamie Lucas going to have an opportunity here to do something with it. Instead, it's going to only get as far as Harley White. Seth Ensor now coming around with it. He's going to loop around. 13 left on the power play for the Dashers.
Harley was a little indecisive there, almost cost him.
Ensor takes a big hit, but the pass is successful. Fires to Fred Hine, who sends it across the blue zone. No luck, though. No Dashers there to get on the end of it. Now on the end of this one is a nice save there from Harley White. That's coming off the stick of Jamie Lucas. Now coming the other way. Danville trying to get on this. Fred Hine really trying to wrap up that getaway pass. Instead has to send Marvin Powell into the boards and hope to get it back. The penalty has now been killed by Watertown. Powell bringing it across his own blue line. Dumps it off there instead to Lane King. Powell tied up there by Seth Ensor. Now coming the other way is Danville. There's a 2-on-2 opportunity here for Danville. Just what you work on in practice. Hildebrandt with a fake shot. Gets him on net. Almost has the ability to wrap around. Instead going to resort to an offensive possession here. Brings it back. Hoagland fires in. It's blocked up by Blake Scott. As a loose puck once again in front of the net of Blake Scott is sought out by Watertown. They're doing a great job with those. Brad Denny on the point fires, and that's going to be wrapped up by Blake Scott. And Blake Scott standing on his head, over 40 saves already tonight at 45 shots on goal and just one goal allowed.
A lot of the shots that Danville have had this tonight have not been great shots, but that exchange, 2 excellent saves by Blake Scott.
Absolutely. Blake Scott been a worthy performer here and up to the task for just about everything. Bringing it back now is Joseph Devaney. Devaney's going to have a shot here, and that's to go wide left of the goal of Harley White. Now on it is Dashers. The Dashers get it back as a little bit slow to get to it. There was Dimmitt. Dashers now on it as Watertown recollects on defense. Port on it now. It's sent down the boards, eventually getting on is Johan Hoagland. Hoagland with another error pass to Denny. They have not been able to link up very well tonight after a pretty good performance last night. Hildebrandt now on this one. He's going to try and just stick it out. Hildebrandt going to have a breakaway here with 2 Watertown officials on the other side as a big hit is laid on Seth Ensor there coming down the other way. Marco Luciani tries to get on the end of that pass. Now coming onto it is Michael Desjardins. Desjardins shoots. It's wide of Harley White. Put back in front of goal there by Watertown. That one's played with a high stick and is probably going to come back for an icing. It's going to not get far enough as it's played about as perfectly as you could hope for if you're the Dashers. That's going to come all the way back down the ice here. It's collected by number 17, Liam Little. Coming back on it as a nice stick move from Palmerville is sought out by Numbers.
Official acting like a pick on that play. causing problems for the Dashers.
Use your surroundings to your advantage. A couple big hits laid here recently as puck possession is being exchanged rapidly. Now coming the other way is Jamie Lucas. Jamie Lucas fought off the puck. There's a big hit laid in the back as that's going to be coming down now. Another couple big hits coming down. We're going to have a delayed penalty on Watertown as the gloves are thrown. And down goes the ground. The Watertown player had no chance. His skates completely gave up on him. We'll see who that is when he gets up off the ice. It looked like might be Levi Armstrong laying the boom there. And Armstrong not on the bench currently, so I'm assuming that's your safe bet. It is Levi Armstrong.
It's Levi without a helmet.
Levi very spirited, threw his gloves and his helmet off. He's not afraid to throw down. Preston Kugler, who played a couple games with the Dashers, as Levi Armstrong is getting this crowd fired up. A 3-goal deficit with 50.3 seconds left in the second period. You need them behind you. All of his Dasher teammates going to carry his possessions over to him in the sin bin. 2 Watertown Wolves in the box here as we get an official word on what the penalties we're going to see are. There should be 1 for fighting and then 1 for that delayed penalty. That would explain the 2 in the box there. And you can't let him run right over your guys. And Levi Armstrong, without a pure on-ice enforcer like Taylor Cutting we saw last year for the Dashers, somebody has to step up in that role when it's needed. Levi Armstrong done a good job at holding in his temper. I think that one was deserved with some of the hits that were being laid there. And you like to see a fight go down to the ice. That's part of my favorite part of the job.
Sometimes in hockey, you just need to get everybody fired up. And now all of a sudden we're seeing a little more life out of the Dashers bench. And we certainly saw a lot of life out of the fans here at the Palmer Arena.
Sometimes that's all it takes, as a good crowd is now shuffled into the Palmer Arena as we're awaiting the official ruling here. 2 team mates is Powell and Hine out there waiting on the official word to carry back to the bench.
The only unfortunate part there in the penalty for Levi is I just hope he doesn't get an extra penalty for starting the fight and canceling out a much-needed power play here for the Dashers.
You do wonder, since the gloves weren't dropped there by Preston Kugler, if we will see a infraction for starting that penalty. It is a curious situation, and they're trying to get it all sorted out here, so it's entirely possible that's what they're discussing. One thing's for sure, Levi Armstrong, a fan favorite here from locally, from Urbana, Illinois. Played his college hockey at McKendree University before joining the Dashers for a couple games last season and then becoming a mainstay on the Dashers team. A lot of former Dashers on this Watertown team as well that know he can throw it down. And somebody that knows he can throw it down as well is Watertown's head coach down there, Paul McLean.
I love the fact that so many of the fans, despite being down 4-1, a lot of life in the crowd here, and a lot of the kids coming down to give Levi a little fist bump there in the penalty box.
You love to see it. It looks like fans are starting to crowd around the penalty box to see exactly what's going on. Being taken out of the game here is Preston Kugler. As you figure, that's just for the period here. I would not think he was fully ejected from the game unless something I missed, which is entirely possible.
I think he may have had a little issue with a little blood after a couple of shots he took from Levi.
That's exactly what I would figure. I didn't see anything game throwing out worthy here. Justin Browsett actually on the ice. The only time we've seen him on the ice tonight, he's going to go in the penalty box. We might have seen an infraction called on Levi Armstrong for instigation, actually.
It's going to be interesting to see how this sorts itself out.
It is interesting. Armstrong technically did come from behind on that hit, dropped the gloves without any kind of, yes, let's go, from Preston Kugler. So I wouldn't be surprised to see, as you mentioned, an infraction come against him here. We're still awaiting the official word from the off-ice officials as what's exactly going to be called here.
And both captains for the 2 opposing teams talking it over with the officials as well.
Well, currently it's 4-on-2 on the ice, so that's not going to be how it goes down, I'm sure.
Nope, one more coming. Looks like we're going to be 4-on-3, maybe.
There are still 3 men on the ice in the back for Watertown. We're going to have 4-on-4.
Now we're going to have 4-on-4. Okay.
Looks like a little confusion there from Watertown, and rightfully so. There's a little confusion from everybody on that kind of thing. Levi Armstrong did get a penalty for instigation. We now have the official word on that. He also got a major for fighting, so 7 minutes of penalty time for Levi Armstrong for the retaliation there. The Watertown penalty is not logged exactly yet.
That
right
had to be
behind
a
there.
hook.
Hine coming on as he fires down to Naher. I would agree. I think it probably is a hook on that one. I think that was what was originally signaled. Naher finds Hine a little bit better link-up passing here from the Dashers as Atwell is hanging out there with open ice as he is not someone to leave open on the point. He will shoot. Hine's going to end up on the end of this one as that was fired through. Dasher's shot is just wide as Blake Scott pads that one away. With
Just got enough of that one.
12 seconds left here with 1:20 left in the penalties for both sides. It's neither a penalty kill nor a power play. It's 4-on-4 here. Or maybe it's both.
First real crisp passing we've seen from the Dashers offense this period, though.
And that is going to end the period. So encouraging to get that in the end as you go into the third. Preston Kugler actually got a penalty, a 10-minute game misconduct for third man in.
That explains why he got run.
That makes a lot more sense. That won't be the end of his night, however. It will be the majority of his night as we head now into the final 20 minutes in the third period. His team going to be happy with where they sit, though, even with Kugler off the ice. 4-1. Watertown has the advantage here at the David S. Palmer Arena.
Third man in is usually a game misconduct for the rest of the night, though. That's very confusing.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. We've had a couple rule changes in the offseason, so it'll be interesting to see exactly how this one falls down. Kugler might not see the ice again tonight, but Kugler not getting a lot of minutes for this Watertown team the last 2 games anyway, so it'll be interesting to see how that ruling ends up. Anyway, we're going to go into the third period here regardless as Watertown and Danville quickly have made their way off the ice. We'll come back for 1 minute and 9 seconds of one of my favorite types of hockey, 4-on-4 hockey. The only way it could get better is if it's 3-on-3. I do love me some 3-on-3 hockey.
Little open-ended, end-to-end action when you're 1 man down or 2 men down.
And you think about exactly how open the FPHL hockey already is when you add in the fact that they'll be playing 4-on-4. We're looking at very many offensive opportunities here.
And that's exactly what your Dashers need to get back in this one, so that might come to their advantage here to start the third period.
Yeah, without a doubt. Now it's time for the Chuck-a-Puck. If you're coming out to any of the games this season, this is one of our favorite things to do here at the David S. Palmer Arena. Obviously, the closest to the center circle gets 2 vouchers for games. You get a puck in the center circle that stays the whole. We might have one tonight, Dennis. He needs a little boost to maybe be fully in there, but sometimes we get the benefit of the doubt. We might see Cam come over and kick that one in. We've had a lot thrown close tonight. Anyway, if you get a puck directly in the center of the circle, you will win $150, and if no one wins, that jackpot keeps going up, and I do believe no one has won yet this season. We're going to see the official ruling here from Cam Short. Is it in?
I think we have a winner.
We do. That's a thumbs up from Cam Short. That's going to be in the center circle. I haven't seen that. I literally have seen that one time, and it was at the very beginning of last year when I was still a lowly social media attendant.
There was a lot of good chucks with those pucks tonight.
Yeah, that was beautifully done there by all the fans. And once again, one of our favorite opportunities here as Cam Short and the crew get those cleaned up. Awesome volunteer group. We have a lot of community involvement here at the Dashers, one of my personal favorite things.
Always a fun time out here at the Palmer Arena, win or lose.
Coming up December 7th is our annual teddy bear toss, my favorite promotional night of the year. Last year, you could not see the ice with how many teddy bears came out. It was insane. I know people that'll go out and buy Walmart clear of stuffed animals and teddy bears. We're going to try and break some records. Bring a stuffed animal out December 7th and throw it on the ice after the Dashers score their first goal. Last year, it took a while to get that first goal. It was pretty awesome. So when that finally happened, it erupted. We're going to take a short break here ahead of the third period, the final period of action here, unless we see some overtime, which you're not going to rule that out here in the FPHL. But coming up now, we're going to be going back, as that was the most beautiful one-handed catch of a Frisbee I've ever seen in my life. We're going to take a break here as we saw somebody finally win the Chuck-a-Puck Harry Black, if you're out there watching, our play-by-play guy from last year, who so desperately wanted to see one, he never got to, but now we have. We've seen someone win. We're going to take a short break here. We'll be right back with you on the Danville Dashers Broadcast Network. And you know, that's the problem with going and getting food, is you eventually have to stop eating it and start talking again. If I never had to talk again in my life and I could just make a living out of eating food, I would do it. Let me tell you, everybody. We're back here for the third period of Danville Dashers hockey. Watertown Wolves really hockey here tonight, though, as they've been all over the ice and dominant in every fashion here. Blake Scott stopping already over 45 shots through 2 periods. Granted, some of them have been a little bit weaker, but Scott nonetheless turning in an important performance here as Watertown up by a score of 4-1 here as we get ready to not kick off. I was about to say kickoff. I'm still in the football mood. By the way, go Tigers, go Illini, as we get ready for the third period.
And go Boilers! They won today.
Don't.
And I think we got our answer to the whether it was a game misconduct or 10 minutes. The Watertown player, he gone.
He gone. He is out of the game. We got our answer eventually. It was a slow answer, but we got it. Preston Kugler, that is, being shown the exit door a little bit prematurely. Jesse Naher fights for one, almost ends up with a promising shot there on Blake Scott. No such luck, though, as Danville going to try and make something here. Watertown recovers, however. That's going to come back to Marvin Powell. Powell over to Cameron Dimmitt, who's going to do a little reverse skate and try and see his options here. An errant pass is going to be almost onside. It's going to be a delayed offside there on Danville, thanks to the tip that actually made the pass errant in the first place. Now coming down is Watertown. That's number 25, Joseph Devaney, as Atwell's going to take this one on the run for Danville. He's going to try and hold off a Watertown player who's getting offensive side here. They're going to really need some offense, and he's a good person to start it out. On the other end is just Joseph Devaney coming back down now. That's broken up by Fred Hine, who's kind of circled around onto the defensive point. Watertown caught in a shift change here. Aaron Atwell unable to do anything with it as a nice break up there comes off of the stick of Michael Desjardins. That one's off the boards to Patrick Zylak, who had an impressive chance earlier. Zylak in, over for Fred Hine, doesn't bury it, as Blake Scott, that was one of his nicer saves on the night. Now coming back with it is Brad Denny looping around. He tries to find a wraparound, but Blake Scott is smothering his right goalpost there.
Back to 5-on-5 hockey.
Coming back with his Vladimir Port here. Port over and a shot. That is a rocket, but as rockets often do, it went too far up in the sky there. Urich with a pass to Boudreau now. Almost finds Lane King, and those three are dangerous when they're out on the ice together here. Boudreau tries to find Urich in the blue zone, but no such luck there. Now coming the other way with it is Patrick Zylak, who takes a little bit of a hit. Justin Browsen still not out there. Actually, he was out there that time. He's coming back now. It's Boudreau in on goal as Urich almost has another shot. That net has come off the moorings. A Danville Dashers defender is caught up in it. Looks like Alex Palmerville. He's a little slow to get up. Actually, Patrick Zylak. You would think the offensive player would be a little bit more in the offensive zone. No such luck on that cycle. Zylak ends up somewhere he's not supposed to be, and that's in the net.
Yeah, it almost looked like two of the Dashers players got their legs tangled there. And Zylak scoring a goal with his helmet.
Zylak going to have to recover really fast here. He's going to be lined up against Derek Boudreau on the faceoff, and he wins it. Now it's Tesserero coming through. Tanner Hildebrandt on it. Hildebrandt tries to shuffle it through, just not on the same page there with Tesserero. Tesserero tripped up, goal! Hildebrandt scores, finally rewarded for that hard work he's put in all night as the Dashers pull one back fast, and they needed that one here in the third period.
Beautiful play by the Dashers. Getting the puck deep into the zone, working it hard, then getting it out from behind the net. Right in front to Tanner Hildebrandt, who came up big with a one-timer.
And Tanner Hildebrandt gets the reward at the end of the rainbow there. He's fought hard the last 2 nights, finally comes up with a goal to show for it. His first of the homestand and his first home goal as a Dasher.
Dashers look pretty excited on that 4-on-4, a little more energy, and they continued it on into the equal strength, their 5-on-5 play as well.
And Hildebrandt using his legs and his big build to really disrupt the passing here. That's going to be key going down the stretch. That redirected pass is going to end up going over the boards and out of play, and we're going to see a neutral ice face-off. A new puck thrown from the referee box into the penalty box and then to the referee on the ice. A little bit of a flea flicker there. Let's have what we'll call it. whatever you call it. It's coming back to the face-off circle here. Fred Hine against Cameron Dimmitt.
Looked like a variation of the old Philly special from the Super Bowl a couple of years ago.
Jesse Naher passes it out. That's going to be shot from the Dasher point. Doesn't make it as far as Blake Scott, though, before it's chucked up by Joseph Devaney. A big hit there almost, as able to get out of the way is Watertown. And now coming back with the Watertown, a shot on Jesse White, or Harley White, not Jesse White. Jesse Gordachuk's over there on the bench. Now coming away with it are the Dashers. They'll look to redirect this one and set up as they get behind goal. Seth Enser and Troy Murray. Bringing it out now is Murray. He's bringing it up the ice. Gonna find Murray. Actually, that was Enser bringing it up. Switching sides as another implement of the defense here as Watertown almost comes up with a breakaway. A nice on-ground play there from the Dashers to keep that one from booming into anything else. Fred Hine trying to link up there on a pass with Ensor. No such luck, though. Instead on it now is Joseph Devaney. He's put into the boards there by Nick Gullo. A pass across the zone is almost caught up. Would have been stopped there anyway by the Dasher defense. Now a shot from point. That would be Vladimir Port on the shot there as the Dashers going to recover here. Trying to get it out of their zone any way they can.
Great effort by Troy Murray disrupting that play.
And a shot from Jurich ends up at a pass. Very dangerous across the blue zone. Now caught on his back is Harley, as that one is going to be shot all the way back for, I do believe, an icing.
It was a delayed icing there.
Yeah, it did not come around very quickly.
Everybody in the arena expecting it. The goalie had his hand up. And it was a little late on the call.
I guess better to cut it off later than prematurely, as on those wraparounds the Dashers could have managed to get to it. Ideally, if you're the Dashers, that's ideal. Coming to it now, Jurich fires one across, trying to find Boudreau. Instead, Port ends up with it. Port shoots one on. A nice glove save there from Harley White.
Big stop by Harley.
Now, if we had Harley White last season when Coach Rod Davidson was around, we could have had Harley Davidson. No such luck on that one, though. Like most of my jokes, they just fall just short.
Oh, come on. That revved up pretty good.
Coming up, Patrick Zylak loses the faceoff there as Watertown able to get a shot onto Harley White's net. Now Aaron Atwell able to field that one. It wrapped its way around at A.J. Tesserero. Zylak on it now. And that's Hildebrand on it again. Hildebrand shoots one that's blocked up by Vladimir Port nicely. Now coming the other way is Watertown. A nice side hit there. Shakes Watertown off. Tesserero tries to find Hildebrand. It's a little too strong for the big man to pull back. Powell on it now as he dumps it down the ice. Atwell might be able to get a stick on this one. Atwell on it. In the end, he's going to pass it around to Palmerville. Palmerville shoots it off the boards there. Trying to stay on sides was Seth Ensor. And A.J. Tesserero out there as well. Hildebrand fighting for this one strongly. Puts a rebound shot there onto Blake Scott, but no such luck in finding the net.
Dasher's doing a really good job of hustling for the puck.
Watertown now bringing it down as Palmerville gets deked out a little bit by the puck there. Now on its number 11, Jamie Lucas. Lucas fighting for it with the tiny, mighty Nick Gullo, who comes away with it. He finds Alex Palmerville. Palmerville fires a shot on. He had Gullo waiting on the wing, but it's going to end up with Gullo anyway. Gullo really knows how to use his body mass. A pass across for Barakov, who shoots it in just wide. Almost found an open net on Blake Scott, and there hasn't been a whole lot of that to go around tonight. Now coming away with it is number 47 there for Watertown. That's coming around. And it's going to make it all the way back down for an icing as two Watertown players collide. That would be Igor Kostyakov and his fellow defensive partner there, Michael Desjardins, who was slotted back from his forward position to try and get a pass there.
Love the energy that Nick Gullo brings to this offense. He is always hustling. And for one of the smaller guys in the league, he wins most of the battles along the boards that he gets into.
14:27 left in the third period here. Fred Hine wins that faceoff. Naher not able to get a solid shot out of it as it's cleared from the defensive zone by Watertown. Now coming the other way is Dimmitt. Dimmitt with a fake as that is soared sky high as Fred Hine's going to end up coming with it. A nice stick there by Lane King. Ends up with a Watertown offensive opportunity. It's sorted out by Johan Hoagland. Lane King now back on it.
Good job by Brad Denny to get a stick in the way on that one.
Jurich with a shot. It's blocked by White. Now on it is Jesse Nahair. That one's going to be called back for
I
something.
think there was a delayed high stick on the Danville player, so the faceoff should come to the right of Jesse White.
Good catch. And looks to be correct there. I keep calling him Jesse White as well. It's hard. You called Jesse Gordichuk's name so much last night, and then
I just want to go to the Secretary of State's office now.
Jesse White tumblers. We were trying to see the gymnastics team.
There you go.
That won't make sense to anyone watching. Coming up now is the Dashers. Watertown grabs it on the offensive zone. Vladimir Port on it. That one's chopped up all the way off the rafters and comes back down to the helmet of Aaron Atwell. Good thing he's wearing that helmet. That's why you keep it on the bench, I guess.
Good energy by your Danville Dashers here to start the third period. First 6 minutes and 11 seconds have belonged to your Dashers. And now Nick Gullo's going to the penalty box for some reason.
We're going to get the official word on that here in just a moment. I think it might be a delay of game. It went up off the rafters. That would be the most logical conclusion here if it wasn't redirected. I had assumed it was redirected with that high of an angle. It's very hard to put it up that high.
And there is a discussion going on for the referees, and both captains in on the discussion as well. But Nick Gullo is in the penalty box.
Gullo doesn't seem too upset to be there either. You do wonder exactly what happened. Maybe the referees think that Gullo sent it over his own bench there, which would have been a penalty for delay of game, but he did not. It went up and hit the rafters, and right now that's being explained to them. We'll see the outcome
And
of this.
here comes Nick out of
That's
the penalty
exactly
box.
what happened there, actually, is Justin Coachman Kyle Powell, was one of the big ones explaining exactly what happened. That's good sportsmanship there from Kyle Powell. And good on the referees to amend that mistake. No harm, no foul. And no foul, no harm.
And no Gullo in the box.
No Gullo, no foul, no box. Zylak loses the face-off here. Powell with a slap shot there from Urich. Getting to this one first is going to be Hildebrandt. Nobody wants to go up against him on the boards right now. Palmerville carries it into the blue zone. Palmerville's going to take a shot, and that is snatched out of the air by Blake Scott. They're trying to beat him glove side. I don't think you're going to have a whole lot of luck with that. His glove's been hot tonight.
All of a sudden, though, the Dashers have learned how to pass.
Weird.
Much more crisp passing here in the third period.
You wonder if there was an intermission yelling match by Coach Ray Tremblay to get him back into shape. Although he does seem more like the quiet anger type from what I've experienced. Nothing wrong with that.
I think he just stared them down for 18 minutes.
I would be intimidated, let me tell you. Alex Palmerville trying to break up Lane King's run of form here. Instead, it's going to be Tesserero that ends up with it. Tesserero to Palmerville.
Another
Palmerville to
couple of
Zylak.
good passes.
Zylak with a beautiful deke as he's in on goal here. Almost backhanded into the net. Instead, it's going to come to Tesserero. Palmerville had an open shot. That redirect almost finds the net for Tesserero. Blake Scott had no idea where that was and got a lucky pad on it to save the day. Urich now coming to the other end here. He's going to find King. King now drifting, and that's going to go off the face mask of Harley White. Tesserero really fighting for that one. Takes the worst of it, but comes up with the puck for Danville. Now coming in is Tanner Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt evades a hit there and gets it over to Tesserero, who is back in a hurry. Tesserero to the blue zone and shot on by Hildebrandt, redirected.
Oh, and fabulous
Blake
saves.
Scott with a beautiful double, if not triple save on that one off the stick of Tanner Hildebrandt. Some nice build-up play there by Tesserero and Hildebrandt.
Early in the game, we saw some of the Dashers players have some weak chances out front that they couldn't elevate. He elevated twice. And Blake Scott coming up big in the net both times.
And he has been on fire tonight. 2 goals allowed and looking in good form here for a backup. Jamie Lucas sends this one down the ice. That's going to come back to Harley White. Now coming up, Zylak's got it. He's going to throw that one to a Wrigley Field pop fly, and that's not going to be collected by Fred Hine. Coming back down now, Nick Gullo out on the ice for the Dashers. Now on it are the Watertown. They're really drifting in here. Now going to have a shot on White as that one is snatched out of the air as a big hit is laid. Number 47 there as he went hard into that wall.
Yeah, he's down and he's not moving very fast.
As Powell escorts the Danville trainer over there, as well does Liam Little. Little actually worked on a lot by the trainer last year. is very familiar with that type of circumstance. That's kind of what happens when you're a high-energy, high-flying player.
Nothing dirty there. It just lost his feet. Players got tangled, and he took a big hit.
Definitely unfortunate timing there as they go down into the boards. Number 47, is that Igor Koshchikov, I do believe, right?
That's the missing guy from the scoreboard earlier.
Yeah, Igor Koshchikov, and somebody that's been around the FPHL a lot. He was in there last year. One of my favorite names, actually, to pronounce. It just rolls off the tongue, Dennis. Let me tell you.
If you say so.
I can't wait until we play Carolina. That's going to be my ultimate test. I also just love watching that Carolina team play. Let me tell you, last year's FHL champions, they are a fun group to watch. They took care of business down in Danbury earlier today. Hildebrandt passes it back here to the Dasher defense. Now coming up with it is Murray and Ensor. Tesorero going to get on the end of this one and try and make something here. Not going to happen. It's only going to get as far as Patrick Zylak here. Zylak and Seth Ensor kind of shifting back into a defensive zone there. Now Tesorero on it. Tesorero finds Zylak again. He's going to try and carry this one through. A nice deke there through two defenders as he has a shot that is barely touched up by Blake Scott. A huge hit laid on Zylak there. Nothing dirty about that one. That one's going to be blocked there by the defense as Danville building up a little bit of offensive pressure, maybe following some momentum. Hildebrandt not able to get on the end of Tesorero's pass. Now coming down is Jamie Lucas. Lucas fires it down along the boards. White going to stop that one in dangerous fashion. He does a nice heads-up play, spins around, and gets it over to Seth Ensor, who finds Tesorero to send it down nice. Now we're going to have a shift change here as Brad Denny, Johan Hoagland come out onto the ice. Watertown coming down now. You've got Cameron Dimmitt out there as well as Tyler Urich, I do believe. Someone that's also played a lot of minutes tonight but has the legs to do it. Blake Scott taking no chances with any of these long-range shots, and it's paid off for him so far, allowing just 2 goals on a number of shots. That's already almost to 60.
Very strange here in the third period. Watertown suddenly can't clear the puck with any regularity. Almost looks like they're using the Danville Dashers sticks from the last period.
Maybe they just swapped them in the off there during the intermission. It's always possible. You never know. 4-2 here in favor of Watertown. 11 minutes left on the board as a rebound is almost buried. Now being cleared out with a hard cross-check there is the Dashers offense. Fred Hine puts one on, and no call there by the referee standing right on top of it. He sees it the best. This one's brought back now. Lane King going to have a breakaway chance. Harley White steps up to the plate, and that one is shot wide of White. Lane King almost with a great goal-scoring opportunity on that.
White did a good job of getting out of the goal a little bit and cutting off the angle.
And one thing they teach you as a goalie, one of your first rules is cut off the angles and minimize the offensive opportunities.
Oh,
Fred
great
Hine,
play.
Beautiful Dika shot. Doesn't make it as far as Blake Scott. Atwell going to have to work fast to get on this one. Otherwise, Lane King's going to have an opportunity here. King and Joseph Devaney. Joseph Devaney in on goal. A nice play there by Nick Gullo coming back on the defensive end to stop that one before it starts. Aaron Atwell with a nice stick to make Watertown regroup here. Marvin Powell with a long-distance shot on Harley White easily there, as we're going to see a shift change from both teams. Atwell out and up there as it's recovered by Watertown. Now bringing it through is Derek Boudreau. Urich in on goal as he fires on White. White up to the task, though. Now on top of it is Tanner Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt carries into the blue zone. A big guy with a lot of good stick handles. He carries it in, tries a backhand. It goes way wide of the goal there. Zylak going to be on the other end of it on the boards. Zylak loses it up in favor of number 14, Marvin Powell there on the other side. That one is almost redirected, just not enough juice behind it from Patrick Zylak off the shot from Alex Palmerville. Now behind it is Powell.
I don't think he saw it coming until the last second.
A shot from Hildebrandt is redirected up and around the boards now. On top of it is Marco Luciani.
Dashes get a deflection.
An own goal off of former Dasher Marvin Powell, and that's what happens when you put it into the blue zone. Your goalie's struggling and you're not helping him out being right there. Marvin Powell not going to like that one, as a rare mind lapse from the former Dasher, now Watertown defenseman. With 9:26 left in the game, the Dashers are within 1.
Marco Luciani getting the old bank shot off of a Watertown defender.
We'll let you know if they give that one to Luciani or if it's going to go in as an own goal there.
I think Luciani
on Powell.
Got to get credit for that one. He made the right play there.
Is it possible to give an assist to the opposing team? That's the right ruling here. I don't care what you say. Luciani is going to get that goal on even strength. Dashers pressing again here.
All of a sudden, the Danville Dashers have come alive here in the third period.
Barakov's taking a hard one into the boards here. Barakov And Levi Armstrong fighting for it. Levi back on the ice, serving his penalty time earlier. On the other end of it is number 17 there for Watertown. He's going to recover. That is Liam Little, the former Dasher as well. Little getting an accidental stick, it looks like, to the side of the head there. He's checked up on by the Dashers. Not somebody they want to hurt. Little was actually on this Dashers roster until about 2 minutes left. Or not 2 minutes left, about 2 weeks before the season started, making a trade there. The Dashers did. A hard one to let go of. Everyone here at the Dashers a big fan of Liam Little, and he's made some impact tonight for the Watertown Wolves.
That puck was bouncing towards the net, and Harley White did a good job of smothering it.
And 4-3 here in favor of the Watertown as we go to take our media timeout. It's been all Dashers here in the third period, down by 3, and you like this fight. You got to think Ray Tremblay is showing a little bit of pride. He's probably still a little bit angry knowing him, but you got to show a little bit of pride in the way these guys have fought back.
First 2 periods, we saw a lot of stop and go action. We saw a lot of held pucks, a lot of extra face-offs, and the Dashers looked really sluggish. Here in the third period, we're seeing a lot more in the way of wide open hockey, and all of a sudden the Dashers have come alive.
Well, you know, you're back here on the tail end of the third period, the second game of the homestand. Watertown 12 or 13-ish hours away from home. Don't know, never made the trip myself, but I'm pretty sure that's about right. In the chat, you can correct me on that one. I will gladly admit I do not know the distance. Anyway, a long way away from home here as most FPHL teams go. We are at the media timeout, 8:57 left to play. Face off here, it's lost by Danville, covered up there by Watertown as a shot on net is fired way wide there off the stick. Got to think that came off a redirect. And Danville's going to be pushing for this puck. They're going to want to score and carry on that momentum as Hoagland carries it from behind out to Gullo. Gullo now taking it across the red line, across the blue line. He gets across and somehow stays on his skate after a hard hit there. Fred Hine now in chase. That one is redirected, I think, off the skate of Fred Hine and up and out of play. That's going to come back in the offensive zone for a face-off for Danville. You're going to be really liking that if you're Fred Hine. Actually, no, going to come back to a neutral zone. You would think that would have been in the offensive zone. I stand corrected. Fred Hine coming off here, as well as we're seeing Tesserero, Hoagland, Zylak going to be taking the face-off as all 3 of those guys come out onto the ice. That's against Cameron Dimmitt. Zylak with a face-off win here. Hoagland shooting it down, and that's going to go to the left of Blake Scott. Now on it's Hildebrandt. Hildebrandt passes it through only as far as Watertown's defense. Cameron Dimmitt shaping that one up. Now laying chase here is Brad Denny, who's going to get back for that icing. Now we'll see it come back to the offensive side of things. 8:14 left here to go in the third period. 4-3 Watertown.
In that second period, at times it almost looked like Watertown had 8 players on the ice. They were in such command, and all of a sudden the Dashers have turned the tables.
Zylak, another face-off win here, 2 for 2 in this shift. Hildebrandt with a shot that is redirected wide. That one had never had a chance of seeing the goal except for weird misdirection. Tesserero has been laying the boom this weekend in another one there. Zylak making a big skate to get to that one. Hildebrandt using his body to stop that one going any further up the boards. Hildebrandt and Zylak really, really want that puck right now, like mosquitoes after a fresh drop of blood on a fall day. Coming out here as the Dashers and Wolves are really fighting for this one. Cameron Dimmitt in there in the scrum. Ending up with it is Michael Desjardins, but no such luck there as the Dashers come away with it. Dashers offensive men, Patrick Zylak being held onto the ground there by Cameron Dimmitt. Tesserero now with the puck as he stays on side and keeps that one in the offensive zone. That one is going to redirect it off a stick eventually, finding the out-of-play net.
Dashers playing very aggressive here. I wonder if Coach threatened them with running a lot of suicides in practice.
You gotta wonder, because we've seen them do that before, that's for sure. I know I don't want to be doing suicides on hockey skates. That sounds like suicide to me. That face-off won by Fred Hine, but kind of slap-shotted down the ice there. A big hit laid from Tesserero once again. Atwell going to end up with it with a nice stick deke. He almost gets it past 2 successive Wolves defenders. No such luck, though.
Looked like a set play off the face-off to try to shoot the puck down into your offensive end.
Danville going to have a little bit of a break here. Atwell tries to find Nick Gullo. Gullo just can't get on the end of it, but he does get it. Oh, he does not get it back into his defensive zone as Watertown doing a great job at holding up there. Good clean plays there on the side of the boards as Atwell's looking for Naher. Naher down the sideline here onto the boards. That's a pass across the blue zone. Shot on by Fred Hine. It's not off, and he finds an empty net and doesn't score into it, but Blake Scott stops that one as he regains his form from earlier on in the game.
Blake Scott did a good job of going side by side to quickly make that stop, but boy, what a big chance for the Dashers.
As we see Tanner Hildebrandt, AJ Tesserero, Patrick Zylak making their way back onto the ice here for the Dashers. Out there is Lane King on the faceoff right now is Derek Boudreau. Atwell now with it on the side here as that's almost redirected in front of goal there on Atwell's shot. No such luck though. Patrick Zylak getting a stick in there as Watertown sorts that one out in a quick, succinct. Tanner Hildebrandt with a nice spin move on his skates there to keep that one in the offensive zone. That one's fired through the blue line almost to the stick of AJ Tesserero, but Watertown able to recover. Atwell now throws that one through just a little bit out of reach of Tanner Hildebrandt, and that is a long reach, so you know you missed by just a little bit there. Tanner Hildebrandt fighting for this one on the ice. The man will not quit, but Watertown coming away with it. Tyler Urich going to be coming down the zone here. He finds through to Lane King. Lane King shoots. It's sucked up by Harley White, and nice defense there from Aaron Atwell, playing some tenacious defense, as well as Harley White with a nice pad stop.
Dashers got caught a little flat-footed, but made a good recovery.
Boudreau across, that's a shot there by Watertown. That one's going to get out of the offensive zone for Watertown. They're going to have to come back and recover.
Another big chance for Watertown, another big save for Harley.
I do believe Igor Kostyakov has rejoined the team. He's there on the ice for Watertown. Good to see him back in play. Coming down now, it's going to be Jesse Naher carrying this one across. No more. Those Dashers will have to regroup. Bringing it across there is number 71, Seth Ensor.
Ooh. Weird bounce off the sideboards and the end board there. And Blake Scott making a smart move to smother that one before it could be any more difficult.
Scott's been very careful with that sort of thing earlier so far in the game. Now you're 3 goals in, and if you're Blake Scott, but you've saved well over 65 shots. How do you feel about that, Dennis?
Just giving him a good workout tonight. Ooh.
And he wraps another one up, almost on cue. Maybe he heard us.
It looked like he was totally fooled by that shot, but it went wide. He was slow to react on that one, but got lucky with that shot going just wide.
Luciani loses the face-off there as he's playing chase. He might be able to get this one back if he's quick. Nope. It's going to come through, and that's a nice pass there for Cameron Dimmitt. Dimmitt going to have a deke, almost a shot on goal there. The huge hit laid. That's going to draw another big hit there. A very clean hit, though, from Murray. Dimmitt caught without a stick. He's laid a few really big shots so far in this game. That one he dropped his own stick on.
Referees having a little discussion to see what they wanted to do on this one, but I think it was just good, hard hockey.
And the important thing there was Murray did not drop his gloves or his stick, laying a hit there on the boards, and since the offense still had the puck in play, it serves as just a trap where he's forcing him against the boards. If anything, there will not be a penalty on the Dashers. Now, it was a big hit there from Cameron Dimmitt, so we'll see. But I am thinking no call probably on this one. I'm going to be completely wrong.
Boy, I'm surprised by that call.
Seth Ensor is going to find his way to the box. I am as perplexed as you are about that one. And it looks like the referees can't even decide where this face-off is going to go. They've tried 3 locations now and go back to the first one. And if you were going to call a penalty on anyone in that play, you either have to have offsetting minors or 1 minor to Watertown. I don't understand, but I never usually do. We'll leave it to them. They do have the best view down there on the ice. Either way, Watertown going to get 1 minute and 48 seconds of power play. That's almost half the game here with 4:56 left to go in the third period. Watertown bringing it down now slowly. They're content to work this one out. Now on the ice is Derek Boudreau. Boudreau out there with King, who now has the puck. King back to Urich. Urich to King, over to Powell. Powell with a pass over to Boudreau. And wow, a nice save there between the legs of Harley White. And the Dasher defense was quick to wrap up a rebound there. Good on them.
Very good stop there. And he was sort of off balance and falling backwards. Was afraid that he was going to deposit the puck in his own goal there. But a great stop by Harley.
Dashers with 1 minute and 27 left on the Serve Pro penalty kill here. Nice passing here from Watertown, really working the zones of the Dasher penalty kill defense. This one's going to be recovered by Johan Hoagland, but not enough mustard on that one to get it out. Jesse Naher playing chase a little bit. Coming up is Powell. A nice pass there through the blue zone, but no such luck as Harley White does a great job at sealing that gate. Lane King now carrying across the blue zone here. He is going to find the stick of his point man. That was a whiff shot, but it's going to end up, the rebound came out either way. Sometimes all you got to do is put pucks on net and see what happens. This one going to be shot down by the Dashers. Hildebrand, if he was looking the right way, almost had a breakaway opportunity. As that's a nice job there by Tyler Urich to stay onside and almost rewarded with a shot on goal. Aaron Atwell, the better of it. Atwell with a nice deke here. He might be able to send this one out. He sends it backwards. Atwell delivers a check from behind. You're not going to get a penalty called on him for that one as Derek Boudreau waves his hand in the air. 3:35 left to go in the game here with 22 seconds left on the Serve Pro penalty kill. Fred Hine open down ice if you can get it to him. They cannot, so they'll elect to take a shift change here as Tanner Hildebrandt throws that one down. Fred Hine, only dasher on the ice there for a moment. Coming back now is Watertown. Powell bringing it down the ice. Powell elects to dump it in. Going to be on the other end of it is Austin Petrie. That's back to Powell as Powell is going to pass it around. A shot.
Back to even strength.
Now back to even strength. 3:06 left in the game. The Dasher's going to have to work quick to get this one out of the zone and get some time, get some fresh legs.
Very important penalty kill, though. Keeps the Dashers in this one.
They're going to try and shoot this one down the ice. Fred Hine has a breakaway. Fred Hine. And it's in. Oh, it is not in the net.
Oh,
it was on the side of the net.
Thought he had it.
Fred Hine almost with the game-tying goal with 2:40 left in the game. No such luck. Now out on the ice, Jesse Naher with a nice seal block. Nick Gullo takes a cross-check to the back. Not really heavy on calling cross-checks so far this game.
They've been letting them get very, very physical tonight.
The worst thing to get hit with is a stick, let me tell you. Fred Hine narrowly almost levels the game there with a backhand as they kill off the Serve Pro penalty kill.
He faked Blake Scott out, had him totally beat, and just barely missed it, but that puck was on edge. That was the difference.
Blake Scott certainly out of his rhythm there, almost out of his shoes. In basketball, we call that one an ankle breaker. Zylak and Boudreau going to line up for this one as Zylak sends it back. Second game here within one goal if it ends up this way. Now on it is Brad Denny. Denny finds Tesserero. Tesserero on it now as he is pushed against the boards. A nice play by Vladimir Port. Now coming out with it is Urich almost. Johan Hoagland going to get to it, and Brad Denny just narrowly evades a Tyler Urich breakaway. Johan Hoagland hit hard there by Boudreau. Now Zylak over to Denny. Denny to Tesserero. Tesserero tripped up there as the puck is lost. Comes right back to Johan Hoagland though. Brad Denny on it now. Looking for any kind of outlet pass. Hoagland now with it.
Just a minute 50 left.
Coming down the ice here to Powell. Powell's going to send it back up in hopes of finding Kostyakov. Kostyakov has it. Fred Hine almost comes away with that one as Aaron Atwell sends it back down the ice there. It finds Tesserero. He's got no help though. Tesserero back on it now after a redirected pass as Watertown gets it back. Now coming all the way back here, almost to Harley White, but going to get to it first is Alex Palmerville. Palmerville passes it to Hine. Hine throws it down to Nick Gullo, who I don't even think was expecting that pass, as Gullo fights for it along the boards, as does a big hit there by Jesse Naher. Naher not afraid to lay the boom either. That one's going to come all the way back down the ice for icing, and you got to get to that one very fast. No leisurely skating if you're Danville here with 1 minute and 9 seconds left to go in the game.
Minute 9 left. We might see Harley White coming to the bench and an extra skater coming out if the Dashers can win this faceoff.
And Ray Tremblay just gave Harley White the watch me sign. Look him right in the eyes. Even if it's scary, you have to do it. Fred Hine here on the faceoff for Danville against number 17, Liam Little. A big win there for Watertown with just 1 minute and 5 seconds left. You got to push him here if you're Danville.
Gonna have to start taking chances if you're the Danville Dashers.
57 seconds left here. That one's going to come all the way down for Liam Little. Little, a speedy skater, going to get it to Kostyakov. Kostyakov going to hold it behind the net there. Tries to find a pass. It's a shot from the point. It's swallowed up by Harley White.
Good stop, but a very smart play by Watertown there. They were in no hurry to make the play, but wanted to get that good chance, getting the puck out to the point and getting a good shot on goal.
And very interesting total here for you We just got over 106 shots on the night between these two teams. That is an insane amount of offensive production. Looks like one of the teams is going to take their timeout. I do believe that's
Watertown's taking a timeout.
It looks like Paul McLean was making the T signal there. I think so. Either way, both teams get a timeout one way or another. So we are back here. 47.4 seconds left to go in the third period. Watertown up 4-3, and a lot of that thanks to the work of Blake Scott, who has done his fair share tonight. Danville unable to get a solid shot for the most part of the game, scoring 2 here late in the game in the third period. Dennis, you have 47 seconds left. What's Coach Ray Tremblay saying to his guys?
He's saying win the face-off. That's the number one job here. And then it's time to see how fast Harley can skate to the bench and get that extra skater out. Time to throw it all up in the air here and try to come up with that game-tying goal here.
That's what all those sprints are for in practice, is to see how Harley White can get to the bench. You hope it doesn't come down to that. I assume it's going to be Boudreau against Hine. Here it is. Lane King also out there, as tells Tyler Urich. Watertown wins the faceoff. 45 left to go in the third period. Danville going to get this one back through Palmerville. Palmerville over to Atwell. Watertown still pressing
40
hard.
seconds.
And that one's going to be redirected up into the air. It's tried to play by Nick Gullo. No such luck, though, as Danville. Aaron Atwell is going to get this one. Nick Gullo out with it now. And that's
Harley to the bench.
Fred Hine throwing that one down so Harley White can make his way over there. Nick Gullo now on it, getting slammed into the boards there.
20 seconds.
That one's brought around the boards. It's going to come out and go all the way back down to the other end of the ice. Not going to go far. It is not going to be icing. It must have been
said the
touched
puck
back
was tipped.
to 11 seconds left to go in the game. And that's going to be redirected there by Lane King. King and the Watertown Wolves are just going to run this one out here. 2 seconds left, and it's an open net goal from Watertown with 1.7 seconds left. Tyler Urich on the end of it.
Good try by the Dashers there to get that game tying goal, but lost possession of the puck at center ice, and Watertown able to come up with the clincher.
And there's really only 3 ways that can go. One, there's no goal either way, but more likely than not, you're going to either get that tying goal or you're going to go down 2, and that's exactly what happened here as we see both sides kind of making their preparations for the closing second and a half. And that's going to do it for us here in Danville as we see Watertown come in with a weekend sweep on the road, taking the game by a score of 5-3. Last night, they won the game by a score of 3-2, but tonight, a little bit more high-scoring game. Definitely a lot more shots on the night tonight. We saw a combined over 110 shots between the two teams. Once we get the official total here, we are at 106 shots, so fairly close to that. Both goaltenders actually having a fairly decent night when you look back on it all. Harley White letting in 4, and Blake Scott, the former Dasher, letting in 3.
We cashed the bet on the over, but that's the only good thing that happened here tonight.
Yeah, we were 2 for 2 in terms of betting this weekend, that's for sure. And the Dashers rightfully saluting their fans here. They bring it every weekend for them, and a tough one tonight. You think if a couple more things go your way, you maybe get a few calls, a few shots that don't get swallowed up by the black hole in front of net that was Blake Scott. You might have had a chance at this one. You had a chance up until late, just didn't come your way.
The Dashers played real sluggish hockey from about 3 minutes in from the first period until this third period. They came out and they showed a lot of heart because they could have folded up the tents, they could have given it a halfway effort and called it a night. Instead, we saw the Danville Dashers show a lot of pride in their ability and came out playing some tough hockey there in the third period. Fred Hine had Blake Scott beat for the game tire, but just came up a little wide, hit the side of the net. I thought it was in.
It so often is a game of inches, and tonight no different than that. As we look ahead on the schedule, next week we're going to see a couple really good games, actually. I'm excited to see Elmira and the Hat Tricks from Danbury take on. On the road next week, we'll have Danville at Carolina, and Watertown going on the road to Battle Creek. Watertown will feel pretty good against those games against Battle Creek next week after seeing how they beat the Dashers this weekend, and in pretty convincing fashion, honestly. Marco Luciani going to get one of the stars of the game here tonight. We'll get a full score update here as we see the result end at 4-3. Tyler Powell going to get the second star. And the first star is going to be Tyler Urich. He's had a few of those over his career, Dennis, let me tell you.
Well deserved. He had a big game. Even when he wasn't scoring, he was making plays.
Lane King has upped his point total on the season to 1 goal and 9 assists. Total of 10 points and insane numbers there in terms of assists. Could very well lead the league this year in assists if he keeps up at that pace. Whereas Tyler Urich a little bit more balanced there, but Derek Boudreau really the forecast and the forefront for this Watertown team going forward. As for on the other side, Fred Hine, Jesse Naher, and Justin Browsen on top of the scoring totals for Danville. Browsen not on the ice more than once or twice tonight. Wondering if he had a little rest in on the offseason. Nonetheless, a close game here. If you're going to take something from this game, if you're Coach Ray Tremblay and the Dashers, what are you looking forward to going next?
It was the whole effort that they showed in the third period. They could have just mailed in that effort in the third period. Instead, they came out like a whole different hockey team. The passing was crisp. They were winning the battles along the board, and they're playing better defense. They just ran out of time there at the end of the game there and had to take the chances. Giving up the empty netter, who cares whether it's 1 or 2 goals? You're going to go down by right there. But a great effort in that third period by your Danville Dashers. Showed a lot of heart.
Yeah, they definitely did. And a big statement win here from Watertown, sweeping the night and sweeping the weekend. So that's going to pretty much do it for us here for next week. You can tune into the Dashers games on Carolina's network. They always have a great production over there. And for Watertown, mind blank there, you can tune in to Battle Creek Stream. Going to be a good time up there in Michigan. As always, well, for the wrap-up, for Dennis Michelsen and everyone here at the Danville Dashers and the Danville Dashers Broadcast Network, I'm Nate Williamson. We'll see you again in a couple of weeks.